Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Justina. I'm a Western astrologer. Welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. So here in today's video, I'm going to discuss the forecasts for each rising sign for the year 2023. You can find the timestamps in the description box down below this video or in the comment section. 2023 is a very busy year where we will experience a huge shift of energy as Saturn moves into Pisces, Pluto into Aquarius. We are going to begin a new series, a brand new series of eclipses on Libra and Aries axis. So the nodes will move into these signs as well. We are going to complete the eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis as well. So we are going to deal with completions, with endings at the same time too. Now, Venus will station retrograde this year in the sign of playful Leo. And also, we've got Jupiter changing signs. Well, first it will be in Aries, then in Taurus. So as you can see, lots of different energies, and this will be a very eventful year. So here, let's jump straight into your forecast and let's begin. Hello Aries, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year. This is the year 2023. This is without a doubt a very important year for you, because here Jupiter will be in your sign. Also the nodes are moving into Aries and Libra along with the eclipses. So lots of different events, but also new beginnings. And well, Pluto is finally leaving Capricorn, the sign that clashes with your Aries, ascendant Aries, any placements you have in Aries. So this is also really good news. So here, as we begin the year on a rather slower note. Now the reason for that is because still Mars is still retrograde in Gemini, that's your ruler, and also Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn. So we still have a few retrogrades along with Uranus. However, as the days and weeks go by in January, things will start to pick up. Generally, life will start to take a very different turn, and you will see that any projects, ideas that were on hold or were unable to take off in the final months of 2022 will finally take off the ground and will become more realistic to achieve. So here, the 12th of January, this is when Mars stations direct, and then the 18th of January, this is when Mercury stations direct. So these are important dates to keep in mind, because whenever a planet stations retrograde or direct, so generally changes direction, these are usually very eventful and significant days when things happen. So definitely keep these dates in mind. But overall communication will become much easier from the second part of January, along with generally the decision-making process as well. So here, this is a little bit about January. Now, as we begin the year as well, Jupiter will be in your sign until May the 16th. So this is fantastic. You have already experienced these energies in mid-2022. So here, Jupiter is returning into your sign. So this is generally a time of growth, development, and new opportunities, new doors opening up for you. So definitely take advantage of these energies, because here Jupiter will create opportunities. But with Jupiter, this is also about you stepping in, taking advantage of the positive energies that come your way. Now here with Jupiter in your first house, also in the first 4.5 months of the year of 2023, you are likely to gain weight very easily as a result of different dietary choices, or perhaps changing your dietary habits. So it's also something to keep in mind, especially if you are health and diet conscious. Right. So here, as we move forward, we've got Saturn moving into Pisces on the 8th of March, and Saturn will stay here until February 2026. In May 2025, it will leave Pisces for a little bit and move into Aries. So this will be also a pretty significant time here, the second part of 2025. But then it will return back into your 12th house, and then it will move into Aries in 2026 in February. So this is also when you are going to begin a major change, a major new beginnings in your life. But these are very different energies that generally prompt you to build or create more structure in your life. But here, returning back into the year 2023, Saturn in Pisces actually feels in the 12th house, more specifically, feels good, feels great, because this is the house of joy for Saturn in traditional astrology. Generally, Saturn loses some of its negative powers when it enters the 12th house of solitude, of withdrawal. But at the same time here, while there will be lots of new opportunities, new beginnings that will take place with Jupiter and the eclipses here starting next year, at the same time you will also deal with endings. You will be closing some chapters in your life. You will be dealing with some important conclusions, endings here with Saturn in your 12th house. You might also feel like withdrawing every now and then, working from behind the scene as well. This is Saturn. Saturn in the 12th house needs time to really recharge their energies and spend time alone, spend time in the privacy of their home, for example. Or you may find yourself also spending time in foreign places. But here, this need for withdrawal and contemplation is needed with Saturn here in the 12th house. So I made a separate video about this transit a couple of weeks ago, so I will also link it in the description box down below this video. Now here we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius on March the 23rd. So this is also major shift. Pluto will only stay in Aquarius at the 0 degrees of Aquarius in 2023 until June the 11th, and then in 2024, at the very beginning of the year, it will start its proper transition into this sign. So this is generally about the transformation when it comes to your social circle, your friendships, and this is also about you perhaps creating your own community, your own tribe. And generally this is also about moving away from some long-term goals, plans and hopes that you may have had for yourself, and you may become attracted to very different things, and you might generally redefine your goals. And this is likely to happen because there will be a lot happening generally in the next couple of years, because here after Jupiter leaves your first house, Jupiter will move into your financial sphere, and then the eclipses will also initiate lots of personal changes in your life. So this also will result in you generally changing your plans for the future, redefining your future in general. Alright, so the eclipses, we've got 4 eclipses happening in 2023. We've got 2 solar eclipses and 2 lunar. Now the solar eclipses will be in Aries and in Libra, and the lunar eclipses will be in Taurus and in Scorpio. So here with the Scorpio and Taurus, we are going to end the eclipses that started in 2021 at the very end in November, and these eclipses will come to conclusion, to an end in 2023. So here, when we look at the eclipses, we don't only look at one eclipse. This is about a series of eclipses, a whole family of eclipses, because this is what these eclipses are about. They activate the same houses here, if we look at it from the whole sign system perspective. And here with the Scorpio and Taurus, this is your financial areas that are impacted, influenced by these eclipses. And on the 5th of May, there will be a Scorpio lunar eclipse. And then on the 28th of October, there will be a Taurus lunar eclipse. So here, this is about some conclusions, some endings related to your money sphere in general. So here, anything to do with your income or some financial projects, or perhaps a completion of a purchase, or a completion of repaying a certain debt, or perhaps a completion to a mortgage application. Now, you might be also doing final changes in regards to your area of joint and shared resources. So generally think about what happened in your life throughout the eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis in this past year, May and October, November, because this is generally a similar story that is coming to an end. You will be finalizing something in this regard. Now, the eclipses on Aries and Libra axis, these are very, very personal to you because they will be in your first and your seventh house. So your sign is activated, your rising sign. Now here, this is about self-discovery, self-improvement, and some major new beginnings connected to you, to your identity, to your personal life. So this is really, really exciting. You might change your appearance, change your looks, fix something in your look. And this is definitely here the case. But at the same time, you might be also redefining your goals as per Pluto's transit in your 11th house, Jupiter's transit in your first house. So generally, you are reinventing yourself. And for many Aries, the last few years have been really hard with Pluto squaring your first house and any placements you have in Aries. And here we are moving into very different waters, so to speak. And this is an opportunity for you for really improving your life, for making progress, really good progress. So here there's an eclipse in Aries at a very, very late degree, an Aries degree. So it will also activate your sphere of finances. So some new beginnings concerning your identity, your persona. And this could be very much also related to your career and professional life growth, but also some home related improvements, because this is where the moon rules your fourth house. And then the solar eclipse in Libra on the 14th, this will be also about some new beginnings in your relationship sphere. So anyway, these eclipses will last until spring 2025. So Aries, Libra, first seven house, you versus others, your goals, your ideas, your projects versus your relationships. So here at the same time, many Aries will also experience changes, deep changes in their love life. So this could be related to engagement, marriage, a new relationship, a new friendship, a new business partnership, because here the universe will attract people into your life who will help you to move forward with certain ideas, who will help you to feel more empowered, who will generally be there in order to move forward with your life. So this is really, really exciting, because the nodes will move here as well. On July the 18th, the North Node and the South Node will shift. So we've got the North Node moving into Aries and the South Node moving into Libra. So here, generally where the North Node is present, this is where the energies come much easier. So here, this is a self-improvement. This is about here self-discovery and generally moving forward with your life. Now, the South Node in Libra, you have to put more effort into fixing your relationship if you experience any issues, because these issues will come up into the surface here with these eclipses, most certainly. So this is also about changes concerning your existing relationship if you are already in a solid commitment. And if you are single, then the universe may attract someone into your life as well. But overall, eclipses are super, super strong. So you have this opportunity here for really, for changing your relationship, for planning the future with your current partner, or perhaps for creating a brand new relationship or a very strong even commitment, friendship. This is about one-to-one relationship. So here, this is a 2 years influence with the eclipses. All right, so on the 17th, we've got Jupiter will move into Taurus, into your second house. So you had eclipses here over the course of 2 years. By the time these eclipses are over, it will be 2 years. Jupiter is coming here. So whatever you will have built in your money sphere by that time, Jupiter will allow growth, will allow things to really move forward. Of course, with Jupiter, we can become over-optimistic if we don't set our goals in a realistic way. So here, staying grounded and realistic will be essential in order to make the most of this transit. But overall, Jupiter in the second house really allows growth, and improvement in this area of life, in the area of finances. And this could help you with with increasing your income, with increasing your wealth, and your self-worth, self-esteem will also be influenced in a positive way, because here Jupiter will trine your 10th house as well, or any placements you have in your 10th house. So this is really good, because this will further allow a growth in your career life as well. All right, so Venus will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th. And here, this is your 5th house. So here, during this time, you might experience either ex-romantic partners returning back into your life, or perhaps you might experience some difficulties in your romantic relationship. And overall, this is also about returning into some old hobbies, old interests. Now, here, this is also about putting more attention into your own skills, your own talents, and reconnecting with your inner child as well. Now, Venus will stay here extra long from June the 5th until October the 8th. So there will be loads of romance and beautiful energies here, energies that will really stimulate the need to have fun and enjoy life in general, the simple pleasures of life. But when Venus stations retrograde, you may experience some perhaps blockages when it comes to the romantic sphere of life, or perhaps even artistic blockages. So generally, you will have to be patient with yourself and keep in mind that Venus is retrograde. So so not everything will work out the way you want. So there could be delays. But overall, here, we'll explore these energies further next year. This is just to give you some heads up. So here, I think I've covered all I wanted to cover. So thank you very much, and I wish you a happy new year. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your horoscope for the year 2023. So here this year we've got lots of events happening as always, but these are very different energies, so it will be a very different year to the ones we've just had. Right, so let's begin from the first month, because January is pretty important. We've got Mars stationing direct finally after months of being retrograde, and also Mercury on the 18th. So Mars on the 12th and Mercury on the 18th. So here with Mars retrograde in your second house, moving into a direct motion, usually a planet when it changes direction from retrograde to direct, or from direct to retrograde. These are usually pretty eventful and significant times when things happen, so to speak. So you might want to keep these dates in your diary. But overall here, if with Mars moving forward, anything that was delayed or on hold connected to your income, connected to your financial sphere, anything connected to resources, possessions, or you perhaps waiting even for a new vehicle, if that was delayed, things will move forward from the 12th, and you will see more progress, and you will experience less frustration. Now, with Mars staying here still until the second part of March, you will have to watch out for when it comes to your money spending habits, because Mars in the second house oftentimes stimulates the need for making impulse purchases, because Mars is impatient. Mars wants things to happen now, so you will have to also find a healthy balance here in this area of life. Now, Mercury will station direct on the 18th, so here this will generally allow a more relaxed travel here, because Mercury will be in your 9th house, so here travel will be more pleasant, foreign travel especially, and generally communication, studying here, if you experience any blockages or difficulty to concentrate, then Mercury stationing direct from the 18th of January will help you to really reach your goals in a much easier way. All right, so this is a bit about January. Now, from the end of January, all the planets will be in a direct motion, so you will see that life will speed up, especially in the Aquarius season, because Aquarius is an air sign and air moves really fast. So from the end of January moving forward, things will really pick up and you will see more progress in your life. So here we've got that. So Jupiter will be in Aries as we begin the year until May the 16th. This is your 12th house. So Jupiter in Aries in the 12th house for you. This will be about, this will be about healing. This will be also about some endings because the 12th house is connected to endings. So you will be also ending some chapters in 2023, especially since we are coming to an end as well with the eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis. So here you will be also completing something here with the end of the series, this series of eclipses. However, Jupiter in the 12th house can be really positive because it's like a protection from the invisible forces. So this is really great. Now here with Jupiter in the 12th house, you might become more interested in spirituality, in healing work and therapy. Now many Taurians might also get involved in healing work throughout this time, and even provide it as a service. If this is something that you are interested in, then you might see yourself getting involved in this kind of practices. So here in the first 4.5 months, you will have Jupiter here in your 12th house, so spirituality, healing, maybe even some charity work or volunteering could be on your mind. However, from May the 17th, Jupiter will move into your first house, into your sign, and it will remain here until the end of 2023, and then again at the beginning of 2024. So this is really fantastic news because with Jupiter in your sign, this is a time of growth, development, opportunities coming your way, and generally you will experience luck. Things will come much easier. Achieving your goals and aspirations will be also more enjoyable, more realistic even, because here Jupiter in the first house gives you more hope, gives you more optimism and more optimistic outlook on your life. So this is really great. Now with Jupiter in the first house also, you may have to watch your diet if you're diet or health conscious, because Jupiter also promotes growth of the physical body as a result of different dietary choices. For example, most likely Jupiter is connected to fatty foods, saucy foods, so you might be also craving different type of foods throughout this transit. Now here on the 8th of March, on the other hand, Saturn will move into Pisces, into your 11th house. So Saturn is the planet that wants or needs structure, or needs discipline, responsibility, maturity. So this transit will be in your 11th house. It will last until February 2026. In the meantime, in May 2025 or 5th, it will move into Aries for a little bit, and then it will return back into Pisces, and then in February 2026 it will move into Aries more permanently. So here with Saturn into 11th house, at the same time you will have Jupiter in your 12th house. So as I said earlier, this is a protection from the invisible forces. Saturn moving into your 11th house, Saturn can shrink anything that it touches. This is your area of friendships, of your social circle, of your goals and hopes for the future. Saturn will move here while Jupiter is not yet in your sign. So here with Saturn, this can make you become more practical, more realistic. These are the key words for Saturn about your future. So later in the year, you will be more optimistic and more hopeful, but while Saturn moves in, but before that, Saturn will move into your 11th house, and you will be more practical. You might let go of some dreams and hopes because you will become realistic and more realistic about how much you can possibly achieve. So here, this is Saturn. Saturn can make you slightly more pessimistic initially as well. And here, this is also about overall throughout this transit, you might see that some people may depart from your life, and as a result of changes in their life, their circumstances, perhaps you are also changing, and you no longer have much in common with some people in your life. So generally here, some people, some friends, acquaintances may leave as the time goes by here throughout this transit. You may also become more attracted, drawn into people who are older, who are more mature, and who can generally teach you something, some valuable lessons. Now, the universe might also attract this kind of people into your life as well. You might also join groups or communities that will also help you to move forward with your life, learn something new. So here, Saturn is also connected to teaching. It's like the teacher, the old teacher. So here, you might also find yourself surrounded by people who will also act as your guides, gurus of some sort. Now here with also Pluto, we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius on the 23rd of March. Pluto in Aquarius, this is also a massive shift of energy. It will only reach the 0 degree of Aquarius in 2023 until June the 11th, and then in 2024 it will move into Aquarius more permanently. This is about major changes, transformation in your outside world, your public life, your career life. So what does it mean for you more specifically? This is, I think, that definitely some people with Taurus as their rising sign have or are already experiencing changes in their career, in their organizations already before even Pluto moved into Aquarius, because Pluto is a slow-moving planet and Pluto is approaching this area of life, so it is already influencing that early degree of Aquarius. However, with Pluto leaving Aquarius, with Pluto leaving Capricorn, there is also this urgency to complete something connected to your life direction, connected to your life principles, your life philosophy, higher education. So you also dealing with some endings while Pluto leaves Capricorn and moves into Aquarius. Now here, this transit could be related to a complete change of career, to a complete change of career goals as well. Now at the same time, the lessons that you learned while Pluto transited your 9th house for the last 15 years or so, you will also implement these lessons into this new chapter of your life while Pluto makes its transition into Aquarius. Now, there could be also changes and major changes going on in your organization, change of management, and maybe some major building work going on as well. So generally here, there could be also changes happening out of your control, coming from the external influence. Perhaps the government is going to change some rules, some regulations, and as a result of that, changes will occur in your organization. So there are many possibilities, but here changes connected to your career life, outside world are definitely here the case. Now, I made a separate video about this transit, and if you haven't watched it yet, I will link it in the description box down below this video. Now, moving forward, we've got 4 eclipses this coming year. 2 eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio. These are the lunar eclipses, and 2 solar eclipses in Aries and Libra. So we are going to start a brand new series of eclipses on Aries and Libra axis, and we are completing eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis. So here, the lunar eclipse in Scorpio will be on the 5th of May, and then we will have a lunar eclipse in Taurus on October the 28th. So with the eclipses, we look at the bigger picture. We don't just look at one single eclipse. It's a family of eclipses, and this is about here eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis. This is about the family of eclipses that started at the end of 2021. So here, this is about some conclusions. You are finalizing some projects, ideas when it comes to your own identity, when it comes to your own personal life, your own personal goals. And at the same time, there are some changes going on in your personal relationships, connections, partnerships as well. So here, these energies are coming to an end, to conclusion. You're finalizing here, thanks, lunar eclipse. Now, the nodes are shifting at the same time into Aries and Libra. The North Node is moving into Aries on July the 18th, and the South Node is moving into Libra on the same day. Now, they will stay here until January the 11th of the year 2025. So here with the nodes moving into the 6th and the 12th house, this is where your focus is going to shift next year for the next 2 years. So as you can see, Pluto will initiate changes in your career life, but this isn't the end of the story, because the nodes and the eclipses will also occur in your 6th house of work and employment. So as you can see, there is a lot of focus over the next few years on your work life, on your career life, and growth and development. At the same time, here with the 12th house activation and the North Node being there, you are going to become more attracted to healing work, to perhaps a therapy of some sort, spirituality. Perhaps you might also help someone. There could be someone that either appears in your life that you will want to help, or perhaps you will want to get involved in some volunteering or charity work. But here there is this compassion and empathy that is definitely here increased and highlighted throughout these eclipses and transits. But at the same time, with the Libra eclipse, solar eclipse next year on October the 14th, you are going to start something brand new in your everyday life. Your lifestyle is also likely to change, as well as your work and employment as well. So lots of changes, as you can see. In the last 2 years, you were reinventing yourself. You were reinventing your identity. That was about self-discovery as well. Now here, relationships went through significant changes as well, your personal relationships. But here, the energies are now shifting into your work, career, outside world as well. Right, so here we go. Now the nodes will also here change its signs, as I mentioned earlier. Now you will have to put more effort into your work as an everyday life, because the South Node will be present here. Wherever the South Node is present, we have to put more effort into this area of life. Things become much easier where the North Node is present. All right, so here we go. I think this is what I've got for you here. Now, Venus will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th. And this is happening in your 4th house. So this will be about some strong reevaluations concerning your inner life, your emotional life as well. Perhaps this could be related to you returning to some old projects connected to your home. You're reinventing your private life, your home life as well. So we will explore these energies further next year. Venus will stay here super long, from June the 5th until October the 8th. So it looks like you will be beautifying your home environment next year, because you will have plenty of time for doing so. And there will be this need to be surrounded by beauty and creativity at home. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Taurus. I wish you a happy new year. And let's move into the next sign. Thank you very much. Hello, Geminis, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year. And this is 2023. So here this year, we've got lots of fresh energy coming along. And January is already very important for you, because in January, Mars will station direct, which is pretty significant, because Mars has been staying in your sign since the 20th of August, and then it's stationed retrograde at the end of October, and now it's finally stationing direct. So here, this will allow progress. This will allow anything that was perhaps on hold or was difficult to achieve. Now with Mars stationing direct, things will finally take off for you. So this is really great. So the 12th of January could be also an important day to keep in your diary, because you might receive some important news. You might come up with some really fantastic idea for yourself. Now, on the 18th of January, Mercury, your ruler, will station direct. So this is another great news because Mercury is your ruler, and Mercury can also delay any project, make communication interactions with others pretty difficult and even frustrating at times. So here, this is also very good, especially also for your intimate relationship as well, because you may have experienced some dilemmas and miscommunication throughout the retrograde phase. So generally at the end of January, all the planets in the sky will be in a direct motion. So you will see that your life will start to move at a much faster pace, especially since at that point we are going to be in Aquarius season, and Aquarius is an air sign, and air moves fast. So here, really good news. Now here on, as we also begin the year, Jupiter will be in Aries until May the 16th, and Aries rules your 11th house. So here in the first 4.5 months of the year, this will be a time when you are going to feel more optimistic, especially from the end of January until mid-May. You are going to feel more optimistic about your future goals. And generally, it will be easier to achieve some of your dreams, some of your hopes, especially the ones you've had, you set for yourself in the last couple of years. So Jupiter will allow growth and make things more achievable. Now, at the same time, you may also attract new people into your life and expand your social circle. So more friends, more perhaps events, social events, could also be here for you. Now here, Jupiter will move into Taurus on the 17th of May, and it will remain here until the end of the year, and then again from at the beginning of 2024. So Jupiter in the 12th house will be like, or can act like an archangel. So generally you get this protection from the invisible forces, from the invisible world. So that's really great. Now, at the same time of Jupiter in the 12th house, you will be still closing some chapters, finishing some chapters in your life, because when Jupiter moves into Gemini in 2024, this will be the beginning of a new cycle, 12 to 13 years cycle for you, a time of some really good opportunities and growth, development, and generally lots of luck coming your way. But in the meantime, here with Jupiter in the 12th house, this is about also some work from behind the scene. This is also about, there could be someone in your life in the second part of 23 who will need your help and support. So here you will help this person with some issues, some problems they may have. At the same time, this is also about work from behind the scene, about healing, about therapy as well. Lots of healing energies here come along when Jupiter stays in the 12th house. Now on the 8th of March, Saturn will move into Pisces, and here Pisces rules your 10th house. So here with Saturn in Pisces in your 10th house, Saturn will stay here until February 2026. It will leave Pisces and move into Aries temporarily in 2025, but it will here still move between Aries and Pisces until February 2026, at which point it will leave Pisces permanently. So until then, you will be restructuring your outside world. You will be bringing more structure into your career life. So this is a time, here, how you experience and deal with the energies of Saturn and Pisces in your 10th house of career and public life. It depends how you generally what you have been up to in the last few years. Because if you've been working hard and consistently and growing your career, then here Saturn will bring rewards, and this could mean an increased responsibility, higher position, a recognition of some sort at your work. But on the other hand, if this is the beginning of your career, then generally things could be slightly more difficult, because Saturn generally at the very beginning of its transition into Pisces could create situation that could act as a testing time, or you might feel limited, restricted with your time, or perhaps with the people that are surrounded, that you surround yourself with in your career. Those people could kind of maybe make you feel like you don't know enough, or you need to learn new skills. So generally here, if Saturn could also make you feel like you need to learn more, you need to grow more, perhaps you need to get additional qualification in order to climb your career ladder. So it really depends on what you've been up to, especially in the last 2.5 years when Saturn was in your 9th house. That was a time when perhaps some Geminis dedicated lots of time to education, to personal growth of some sort. So here, Saturn in Pisces could act here very differently if you've been working on yourself, on your career in the last few years. But if you haven't, then you might experience these energies slightly more challenging, in a more challenging way. But overall, the goal of this transit is to bring more structure into your career, to build your career on a solid foundation. However, many Geminis might experience this to be a time of recognition, increased responsibility at your work and your career. Now, at the same time, a couple of weeks later, on the 23rd of March, Pluto will move into Aquarius. So here with Pluto in Aquarius in your 9th house, this is about the transformation that comes to your life philosophy, your life principle might change quite substantially. But this is a 20 years cycle. It's not a short lasting transit. So generally you will be changing or redefining, transforming your values, your life principles, your religion. But also this could be related to you wanting to return back into studying, and could be a time when you begin a higher education course, or perhaps many Geminis might also deal with some important legal matters and connected to immigration, connected to citizenship, for example. And this could be also the case. Now, I made a separate video about this transit a couple of weeks ago, so I'll link it in the description box down below this video. But here, moving forward, we've got 4 eclipses this year, 2 on Aries and Libra axis. So this is the beginning of a new series of eclipses. And we are finalizing the eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis that began at the end of 2021. So we will have 2 lunar eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis, and 2 solar eclipses on Libra and Aries. So here with the lunar eclipses, the first one is on the 5th of May, that's the Scorpio eclipse, and then we've got a Taurus lunar eclipse on October 28th. So here you will be finalizing, well, this could be something connected to your work and employment. So you could be finalizing your contract, you might be ending a job and moving into a different job, especially since Saturn is moving into your sphere of career. Now, on a different level, this could be related to a change of lifestyle, change of diet, a change of it's connected to your routine. Now, at the same time, this is also related still to your mental health, to therapy. Perhaps you could be finishing your therapy with the Taurus lunar eclipse in October. But overall, whatever you've been dealing with in the last year and a half here, and by the time this series of eclipses is over, it will be 2 years. So here, this is coming to an end. So think about what happened in your life in November 2021, in October and November 2022, and also April, May 2022 as well. And then you can get an idea of what these eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis could be about for you, because this will be about some conclusions, endings. Now, the eclipses on Aries and Libra axis that will begin on April the 20th, that's the solar eclipse in Aries, and we've got October the 14th, a Libra solar eclipse yet again. So here, as we begin a new series of eclipses, this also coincides with the nodes shifting into new signs, and the nodes will move into Aries, the North Node, South Node, Libra, on July the 18th until January the 11th of 2025. So here you are going to begin a brand new series of eclipses. This is about your friendships. This is about your goals and your hopes for the future. But this could be also related to a new business idea, a new hobby. Now, many Geminis might have a child, might have a baby, might conceive, because these are here activation of the eclipses on in your fifth house as well. And this is the area of children and conception. So many Gemini rising will also have a child throughout the next 2 years, starting from April. Right, but here this could be also related to new friendships, new communities, new groups. And also while Jupiter stays in Aries until May the 16th, here the 11th house is the second house from the 10th. And here, while the 10th house is your business, if you have your business, if you're a business owner, here the 11th house, these are your profits, your business profits. So with Jupiter in your 11th house, your business profits are likely to expand. So this is on the side note. Now, Venus, finally, Venus will be retrograde this year in the sign of Leo, and generally Venus will stay in Leo for quite a while, from June the 5th until October the 8th, and then it will be retrograde from July the 22nd until September the 4th. Now here Leo rules your third house, so generally here it looks like your life within your community and with generally, yes, within your community is likely to be really, really pleasant next year. You are likely to meet new people, welcome new individuals into your life, and expand your social circle here, most likely because Venus will be in your sphere of social activity, communication, and Jupiter and the eclipses will activate your sphere of groups and friendships. So it could be that you could either join a new group to expand, to meet like-minded people, or the universe will attract new individuals, fresh blood, so to speak, into your life. And yes, it looks like it could be a really pleasant year for you next year when it comes to your social life. But when Venus stations retrograde, here perhaps some ex-romantic partners might get back in touch with you. And generally here you'll be also reviewing some relationships in your life, connections most likely, not relationships, connections. And there could be also delays when it comes to communication, letters, documents throughout this time. So definitely keep this in mind. But overall, for those who are writers, for those who are bloggers, for those who generally deal with communication as their in their job, then Venus in Leo overall could act as a beautiful time when you can really achieve quite a lot. So here, thank you very much, Geminis. I wish you a happy new year, 2023, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Cancers, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year 2023. This is your annual horoscope, and here we begin the year with Mars stationing direct in the sign of Gemini on the 12th of January, and then on the 18th of January, Mercury will station direct as well. So here, this is fantastic news, because when planets are retrograde, especially Mars, Venus, or Mercury, this usually delays our projects, delays our ideas, our business growth, and so on. So here with Mars stationing direct, here on the 12th and the 18th, these are very significant days, because whenever a planet changes direction from retrograde to a direct motion or vice versa, usually during these times, important things happen, important things take place. So definitely keep these dates in your diary. Now for Cancer rising here, when Mars was retrograde, you probably lacked energy, motivation, and there was a lot of thinking going through your mind, going on basically. Now when Mars stations direct, even though Mars in the 12th house makes it difficult to motivate oneself, makes it difficult to move on with life, but the retrograde phase makes it even more difficult. So here with Mars in a direct motion, you will start to see some progress, without a doubt. Mars in the 12th house likes to work independently, likes to do things on their own, because you can really concentrate your energies during this time. However, Mars will move into Cancer on the in the second part of March, and this could be a pretty active and vivid time. My Sun, Mercury, and Mars are in Cancer, so for me this will be also a pretty vivid time. Now here with Mars, so yes, Mars here definitely things will move on for you, but also Mercury moving forward in Capricorn. This will definitely improve your communication and interactions with others, especially one-to-one bonds and connections. And by the time we reach the end of January, all the planets in the sky will be in a direct motion. So this is fantastic news, because you will see that life will start to move on much quicker. And especially since at that point we are going to be in the Aquarius season. Aquarius is an air sign. Air moves fast. Air wants fast results, and there's no time to waste during the Aquarian season. So here we go. Now, at the same time, Jupiter will be in Aries throughout this time. Jupiter in Aries is bold and courageous. Aries rules your 10th house. So next year will be huge for you when it comes to your career growth, professional life development. Not even next year, the following year as well. The reason for that is because next year we are going to begin the eclipses on Aries and Libra axis. So here you will see the changes on the home and career front will be taking place without a doubt. Now, Jupiter in Aries in your 10th house allows growth opportunities, new opportunities and advancements connected to career and professional life development. But here, this is definitely good luck. You experience some of this good luck mid-2022. So these energies are coming back for you. And here with Mars moving direct from the 12th of January, Jupiter in your 10th house, you will really do well in your career. And if you are unemployed, don't worry, because here Jupiter will help you to find the right job and help you to take the right direction. But with Jupiter, we need to be grounded and practical, because here we can easily become over optimistic. We can easily overextend ourselves. So you will have to really make sure that you are practical and realistic, but at the same time take advantage of these energies. On May the 17th, Jupiter will move into Taurus until the end of the year, and then again in early 2024. So with this transit, you will expand your social circle. You will become more optimistic about your hopes and wishes and goals for the future. And generally, reaching your goals, reaching your milestones will become much easier for you because of this abundant energy. But at the same time, with Jupiter, we need to take the initiative. Things won't just happen. With Jupiter, we need to take the first step. But the energies are here in your favor, so definitely take advantage of these positive vibes. Right, so here on March the 8th, Saturn will move into Pisces, and this will be here a transit that will last until 2026. In 2025, Saturn will move into Aries for a few months, return back into Pisces, and then in February, in the second part of February, it will leave Pisces permanently and move into Aries. So here, while yes, so basically, definitely take advantage of the energies that Jupiter will bring for you, along with the eclipses, because when Saturn comes here in 2026, you will be rewarded for the work and dedication that you put into your career and professional life accordingly. Saturn rewards hard work, consistency, dedication as well. Right. So here with Saturn moving into Pisces, this is, of course, about structure, boundaries, and this is about generally, this is about, you will be you're redefining your life philosophy, your life principles. Here, Saturn will make you more practical. Now, when it comes to foreign travel, you might experience some delays, some frustrations in the initial phase of this transit, so you will have to be well prepared. Now, Saturn is a planet that is connected to professional life. The reason for that is because this is the ruler of Capricorn, and Capricorn is traditionally connected to the 10th house. So here Saturn in the 9th could also, for many Cancers, this could be a time when you will travel abroad for work reasons. So you might either relocate temporarily abroad and work, or perhaps this could be related to a business travel, either occasional, frequent, but there is this element of business travel here when it comes to Saturn's transit in the 9th house. At the same time here, if you've been wanting to become a citizen of a different country, if you've been living abroad for quite some time and you are now eligible for becoming a citizen of this country, of this nation, then Saturn here will prompt you to take action, because Saturn is about becoming responsible, become mature. So this is a mature decision. You will be taking or making mature decisions with Saturn in the 9th house, connected to immigration, connected to citizenship, for example. So this could also play out this way. If you're a student, you will have to be more responsible, because with Saturn in the 9th house, you won't be able to take any shortcuts, because you might get in trouble more easily here. Saturn here is about discipline. It will create testing or challenging situations if you don't take your studies, your worldly responsibilities seriously. Right, so I made a separate video about this transits, about Saturn's transit in Pisces. I'll link it in the description box down below this video. Now, moving forward, here we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius on the 23rd of March, and Pluto in Aquarius. Here, Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, the modern ruler, it will be in Aquarius for a few months until June the 11th, and then it will return back into Capricorn and come back into Aquarius in 2023 for a much longer period, 20 years. It will still go back into Capricorn for a couple of months during that year, but overall its proper transition starts in 2024. In 2023 we get a little taste. So this is your 8th house. So this is about transformation of your life on a deeper level. Pluto feels comfortable in the 8th house because this is the house of Scorpio, and being the modern ruler of Scorpio, here Pluto can really help you to reinvent yourself, but on a very deep and profound level. You might become really, really attracted to topics connected to death, life after death, and you are going to be more aware of your mortality, but it's unlikely to scare you, because that's Pluto. Pluto is yes, with Pluto in the 8th house, you will be able to go down deep and perhaps move away, hopefully, from any phobias and disturbing thoughts, worries. This is also about the transformation when it comes to your values, your intimate relationship as well. And here this is also about generally this is about how you relate to another when it comes to soul-like connections. Now this is here you might become interested also in investments, in investing your money in shares, for example, or other schemes that could allow growth of your wealth. But this isn't the money that comes from their regular income. This is money that is earned through investment, for example. Now here, yes, so that's Pluto in Aquarius. Here again, if you want to watch an extended version of this interpretation, then I'll encourage you to watch my Pluto in Aquarius video, which I will also link in the description box down below this video. Now, moving forward, we've got 2 eclipses happening. We've got 4 eclipses in total, 2 final eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis, and 2 final eclipses happening on Aries and Libra axis. So since the end of 2020, we had eclipses happening in the sign of Scorpio and Taurus. And these were on your 11th and your 5th house. So changes in your friendship circle occurred. Perhaps you may have started new hobbies, new interests, because there could be this obsession with a new hobby or an interest. Perhaps your lifestyle may have changed as well, or perhaps you became self-employed or a freelancer. Now here with these eclipses coming to an end, because with the eclipses we look at the bigger picture, we look at the family of eclipses, not that just one single eclipse. So here with lunar eclipse in Scorpio, in Taurus on the 5th, and the lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 28th of October, here you are going to be completing these chapters in your life, finalizing them. And next year we are moving into a very fresh and new, brand new eclipses on Libra and Aries axis. And at the same time, the nodes will also shift into Aries and Libra. The north node will move into Aries. The south node will move into Libra. Wherever the south node is present, this is where things are reached with more ease. However, wherever the south node is present, we need to put more effort. So these are really important eclipses because they are happening in one of the most important areas of life. This is your inner world, your home life, and your career. So in 2023 and 2024, until spring 2025, there will be changes happening at your home and career. So here, this could be related to a new career, new job, changes in your organization, some professional life growth. Also, this could be related to relocation, purchase of a property, perhaps with Pluto moving into your 8th house and the eclipses in your 4th house. And there is a solar eclipse here in October in Libra, in April, solar eclipse in Aries. So next year, there will be new beginnings in your career and in your home life, but with the south node being in your home life, at the same time you are moving away from some old structures, from some old habits related to your home and family life. So you are also doing like a clear out, you're clearing away. So this is the influence that will take place over the course of, let's think, it's 2 years, yes, 2 years, and changes on the home and career are here coming for you. They will start with growth, with Jupiter in Aries, and then they will transform into something more long-term and more significant. Now we've got Venus stationing retrograde this year. Generally, Venus will stay in Leo for quite a while, from June the 5th until October the 8th. And then Venus will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th. So this is your financial sphere. Venus in the money sphere, on one hand, can make you lucky with money, attract money into your life, but at the same time, you will be spending money on objects of beauty, objects of your desire. Here with Venus, it's very easy to spend money on things that brings you comfort, on things that brings you a better or greater life satisfaction. So you will also have to find a healthy balance and make sure you keep all your receipts as well, especially between July the 22nd and September the 5th, because you might regret some of your decisions that you made or purchases that you made throughout this transit. But overall here, Venus will bring luck here in your sphere, money sphere. However, at the same time, your taste might become more expensive. Venus will trine your 10th house, so this is also positive for your career and your income. Right, so here we go, Cancers. Thank you very much, and I wish you a happy new year 2023. And let's move into the next sign. Thank you very much. Hello, Leos, and welcome to your 2023 horoscope. So here this year, we've got lots of fresh and different energies, and we start the year on a slightly slower note. Mars is still retrograde in Gemini, along with Mercury and Uranus, but as the days go by, there is a huge shift of energy, and this is because Mars will station direct on the 12th of January, then Mercury on the 18th, and then around a similar time Uranus as well. So by the end of January, things will start to pick up significantly, especially since this that will be also an Aquarius season, and Aquarius is an air sign and air moves fast. So here on the 12th, Mars will station direct in the 11th house. So this is good for this will allow you to reach your goals and objectives quicker with more ease. At the same time, the 11th house also is the second from the 10th. So these are profits that we make from our business. So here with Mars retrograde, these profits perhaps were delayed or not what you expected. Now Mars is moving in a direct motion on the 12th of January. Things should really pick up. Now, with Mercury stationing direct, this will improve your generally daily life and getting more organized to staying organized. Communication with people from your work should also be much easier and from the end of January. But overall, the energies will pick up and you will also see more progress happening in your life. Now, as we begin the year also, Jupiter is in Aries. Jupiter in Aries is bold, is courageous, and this is your 9th house. So here, Jupiter will be in Aries until the 16th of May. So you will see that during this time, you might travel more often than usual, at least once. Jupiter feels great in the 9th house because this is the house of Sagittarius, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So here with Jupiter, you will have this strong need for expanding your horizons, wisdom. And generally, this is about new experiences, experiences that expand your mind, that allow you to grow as a person, as an individual. So here, foreign travel, definitely possible. This is also when luck will come when it comes to any legal matters, any matters connected to immigration, for example. Now, at the same time, this is also a time of growth, perhaps. At your university, at your college. So you might see that it's you're getting some really positive results, outcomes from your hard work. And here Jupiter might also attract really interesting people into your life, people that you meet through your travel, people when you get involved, when you involve yourself in recreative and spontaneous activities. On the 17th of May, Jupiter will move into your 10th house, where it will remain until the end of the year, and then again from the beginning of 2024. And this will be a time of growth in your career. So here with Jupiter is the planet of luck, abundance. With Jupiter, we need to take action and take the first step because things won't just happen. But if we do, then generally it will be easy to achieve our goals. And here with Jupiter in the 10th house, this is about you moving forward with your career goals, and this is really great. However, you will have to be realistic about your expectations, about how much you can possibly achieve with Jupiter in the 10th house in the second part of 2023, because you can achieve a lot. However, you need to be grounded and realistic, and this could be a really, really fruitful time, a time when you can make progress, when you can also find the perfect job, or perhaps get a promotion. So definitely take advantage of these energies. Now here Jupiter is connected to foreign places, travel. So perhaps you may also travel abroad, and this could be either a business trip, or perhaps you may travel for work, for a contract. This could be also the case here. All right, so moving forward, on the 8th of March, Saturn will move into Pisces. And this is a big deal when Saturn changes signs. Saturn stays in a sign roughly 2.5 years. And here in Pisces, it will be until February 2026. And it will, Saturn will begin its transition into Aries in May 2025. And then it will kind of travel between Pisces and Aries until February 2026, at which point it will leave Pisces permanently. So Pisces is your 8th house. So here with Pisces with Saturn in the 8th house, Saturn is about structure, responsibility, boundaries, tradition, laws, regulations. So here with Saturn, first of all, with Saturn in the 8th house, you can become more aware of topics connected to mortality, death, and this can also result in kind of becoming more concerned about your retirement plan, and what is it that you want to do when you retire, or whether you have financial support or savings to live a good life when you retire. So this kind of topics may go through your mind. At the same time, Saturn in the 8th house. Saturn can shrink anything that it touches. So here in the initial or the final phase of this transit, you might feel like you can't really count on others. The 8th house is the house that is connected to money that comes through other people, through government schemes, for example. And the 2nd house is our money, our income. So here, support from external forces might not always be available, or perhaps even if it is available, might not be that satisfying, that supportive. So you may have to rely on yourself more often than usual here, especially if you rely on money that doesn't only come from your regular income. Here, these finances might not be as available, or perhaps there might not be as much as you would have hoped. So you will also have to rely on your own resources, on your own finances. Here, Saturn can also bring some limitations in the intimate life, but perhaps it could be a testing time in order to make your relationship stronger, in order to make your relationship long-lasting. So you might be also restructuring the area of joint and shared finances, resources in your relationship. So I made a separate video about this transit. So if you want to watch it, then I'll link it in the description box down below this video. And here, moving forward, we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius on the 23rd of March. And this transit will be very short until June the 11th. And then the following year, in 2024, Pluto will move into Aquarius more permanently. It's a 20 years transit, so generally things usually happen, important events at the beginning and at the end of the transit. So as Pluto leaves your 6th house, you might be also more concerned about your diet, about your health. You might be dealing with some medical checkups, medical appointments, and there could be this urgency to complete something. It's like now and or never. And this could be the case here around the end of February, or generally throughout February, March, as Saturn and Pluto leave your 6th and 7th house. Now, with Pluto in Aquarius in your 7th house, this is about a transformation that will occur in your personal relationship. So here, your marriage, your love relationship might transform throughout this time. And this could be either related, well, there could be power struggles, especially in the initial phase. Perhaps some issues from the past, some deeply buried issues may come back into the surface, but this is generally to allow growth, but perhaps here some issues will have to be resolved first. And in order for this relationship to grow and become more powerful, stronger even, this is also when you are going to meet people during this 20 years transit who will have a very intense and transformative effect on you, on your life, on your persona. Pluto is connected to intensity. Pluto is connected to people in power even. So here this could be the case for you, but generally your friendship may change, and people with whom you form a solid commitment, solid friendships. Here you might be attracted to very different type of people throughout this transit. Here you are going through an transformation in your personal relationship. So here, if you want to explore this topic further, I made a video about this topic more in depth, where I focus on this transit more in depth. So here I will also link it in the description box down below this video. Now, moving forward, we've got 4 eclipses this year, 2 eclipses in the sign of, well, on the axis of Scorpio and Taurus, and 2 eclipses on Aries and Libra axis. So the eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus started at the end of 2021. This coming year in 2023, we are finishing this series of eclipses, because with the eclipses, it's not just about one eclipse. We look at the whole series and the whole family of eclipses, and this is here more specifically, this is about your 4th and 10th house. So there has been changes in your career life, in your outside world, perhaps a change of job and job progress. Perhaps you moved up into a different position, into a different department. You may have started your own business or a new business in the last couple of years. Perhaps you were renovating or relocating and welcoming a child in the last few years. Now these energies are here moving into, we are kind of redirecting you into this sphere of communication. However, this coming year you will still be finalizing some projects connected to your career, outside world, as well as anything to do with your home and family environment. So here with the new series of eclipses starting next year, so the solar eclipses on Libra and Aries, which will be first in Aries in April, the second one in October in Libra. These are solar eclipses. Scorpio in May and Taurus in October. These are lunar eclipses, so that's why I said endings. It will be ending, completing. Now, so the nodes will also shift into Aries and Libra on July the 18th, and then until January the 2025, January the 11th, and they will move, the North node will move into Aries, the South node will move into Libra. So wherever the North node is present, this is when we receive support and things go generally much easier for us. So this is the North node, the future, the unexplored. And the South node is what we are most familiar with. So here, this is something that, well, especially when the eclipses begin, you will be moving away from the old structure in this area of life. And the North node, you will be rediscovering new things connected to this area of life. So here, the South node, this is about your community, communication, learning. And the 9th house, where the North node is present, and Aries, this is about the rest of the world, working on a global scale, getting yourself out there into the world, connecting with people from the whole of the world. So here, with the eclipses that will begin next year until spring 2025, you will be basically getting yourself out there. And you will be connecting with people on a global scale, or perhaps it could be your business. Generally, there is this need to expand your horizons, to expand your wisdom. You don't want to just limit yourself to your own community. You want more. You want new experiences. You want adrenaline. You want spontaneity. You want something that will definitely make you excited, but this will be something large, bigger than life even. And this could be related to increased travel opportunities, people that enter your life from different countries, different nations. Perhaps your business could be going global, so on a global scale. So this is about something big and large, and here this is what's happening here. So you've been working on your career in the last few years in home. Now you're getting yourself out there. So the really interesting energies here. Right, so the final thing I wanted to explore is Venus retrograde. So Venus will be in Leo this year in your sign. So that's fantastic, because your Venus in Leo you will generally attract a lot of people to you, because when Venus is in our sign, we appear in a very different and beautiful, not really different, and that you're not charming otherwise, but Venus generally in your sign will make you really, really charming and attractive. Generally, this is about an attractive aura, what you present, and the energies that are surrounded around you. So this Venusian aura will really allow new opportunities come your way. generally you will make a very good impression on others as well. So this is also a time of growth, or a good time for presenting work, going on having interviews of some sort. So generally this transit is between June the 5th and October the 8th. However, Venus will be retrograde as well between July the 22nd and September the 4th. So during this time, things might not go the way you want. So these dates definitely keep them in mind, because you might experience some delays, you might experience some frustration, and you might have to change direction, for example. Now, during this time also, July the 22nd until September the 4th, this isn't a good time for changing your look or having some crazy hairstyle change or style, fashion change, clothing style change. Because you might change your mind after Venus stations direct, and you might completely regret this decision. So any beauty treatment, any major makeovers, it's not a good time for doing that between July the 22nd and September the 4th. Other than that, thank you very much. I wish you a happy new year 2023, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Virgos, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year 2023. So here this year we are going to experience very different energies, and we start the year with Mars stationing direct in the sign of Gemini on the 12th of January. So here Mars has been retrograde in your 10th house. So this could have created frustration, this could have created delays, or generally maybe even dissatisfaction with your career, even though perhaps things were going well, but there was something that was maybe bothering you, or perhaps you lacked motivation. So this is going to come to an end. At the same time, Mercury will station direct on the 18th. So from the second part of January, you might experience a shift of energy in your career and outside world. Perhaps you will feel like you want to change something. You want to change your job, you want to speak to your boss about your concerns, but overall, you will gain a greater clarity about where is it that you stand with your career, where is it that you want to go. So from the end of January, this will be a good time for implementing any changes or ideas that you wanted to implement from the retrograde phase, but perhaps you knew that it wasn't a good time. Then generally your straightforward thinking won't be affected no more, and you will be able to make better decisions from the second part of January. So this is good news. Now at the end of January also, Uranus will station direct, and here from this moment in time you will see that life will start to really pick up. Any projects, ideas that were on hold or delayed, they will finally take off. And that will be also during Aquarius season. Aquarius is an air sign, and air moves fast. So these will be really fast moving times for a little while, for a couple of months. But here we've got also Jupiter in Aries as we start the year. Jupiter in Aries. So Aries is your 8th house ruler. Jupiter in Aries is bold, courageous. Jupiter in Aries can really expand your opportunities when it comes to investing your money in a property or a piece of land, if you've been thinking about this kind of a project, for example. But overall, this is also about improving your perhaps connection here, especially in the first 2.5 months of the year, improving your connection with your significant other. So here with Jupiter is the planet of lack, abundance, optimism. However, with Jupiter, we also need to be realistic, because it's very easy to overextend oneself or become overly optimistic about a certain idea, certain goal. And this can also result in dissatisfaction if we set ourselves unrealistic goals, especially here when it comes to money, when it comes to investments, for example. But overall, with Jupiter in the 8th house, this is also generally a lucky time when it comes to any commissions, bonuses, or promotions, for example, especially since Mars will be still in your 10th house until the second part of March. So you might see more progress in your career life. Any delayed or promotions that were on hold, they may finally happen, or recognition even. Now here Jupiter will move into your ninth house on the 17th of May, and this will be a time, well, until the end of December, and then again in the initial phase of 2024. So during this time you might see yourself traveling, and you will be more lucky when it comes to any matters concerning immigration, citizenship, or any legal work. Jupiter here will also increase your opportunities and prospects when it comes to higher education. So if you're a student, you might see that things are moving really well for you here during this transit. Now, at the same time, while Jupiter stays in your ninth house here, this is also a good time when it comes to, or a lucky time, publishing or broadcasting if you are involved in this kind of careers. Now here with Jupiter also, since Jupiter rules your fourth house, and with Jupiter in the ninth, perhaps some Virgos might be relocating, at least temporarily, throughout this transit, because here the ruler of the fourth found in the foreign land. So you may find yourself in a foreign land more often than usual, or you might relocate even temporarily. This could be the case here for some Virgos. All right, so moving forward, we've got Saturn moving into your seventh house, into Pisces, on the 8th of March. And here Saturn will remain in Pisces until February 2026, and then from May 2025, actually, Saturn will begin its transition to Aries, but it will still travel between Aries and Pisces until February 2026. So here, this is about your relationships. And this could play out very differently depending on your circumstances. If you are currently in a solid commitment, then this could be a testing time for you. Your relationship might be tested, especially if there are some aspects in this relationship, in this union, that have been overlooked, neglected. Saturn will remind you about these. And generally, this is about fixing whatever isn't working, because Saturn wants you to build a solid and well-structured relationship. This isn't necessarily about destroying your relationship. This is about making your relationship more stronger. But in the initial phase of this transit, it might not feel like it. So perhaps you or your partner might feel temporarily distant. And here, this is when the frustration might come in place. But here, if this relationship is strong overall, then you can definitely work things through, and then you will see that this transit will only strengthen your relationship. Now, if you are single, then perhaps this transit could attract a new relationship into your life, and generally you will take a more serious and responsible approach into your relationships, into love life. And your approach to love might change as well, at least temporarily. Here with Saturn in the 7th house, you want something solid. You don't want to just date just for the sake of it. You want something that will be for, many, many years, for the rest of your life potentially. So here with Saturn, you may also attract individuals that are older than you, that are more mature, for example. So I made a separate video about this transit. So if you want to watch it again, or watch it for the first time, I'll link it in the description box down below this video. But here, during the same month, on the 23rd, on the other hand, Pluto will move into Aquarius. So this is a big deal. In 2023, Pluto will only stay here for a couple of months until June the 11th, and then it will return into Aquarius in January 2024, more permanently. It will still return back into Capricorn for a couple of months, but overall, this transit will last around 20 years. So, a long time. And here, this is your 6th house. So, many Virgos will go through a big transformation when it comes to their lifestyle. Now, this transit could play out in many, many different ways, but here you might really transform your diet. You might become vegan, pescatarian, vegetarian, for example. Your approach to health will change, and generally you'll be more conscious. And actually Virgo is very health conscious and diet conscious, because this is one of the qualities, traits, Virgo traits. But Pluto brings a transformation here and needs to transform. So yes, so you might be attracted to different type of diets, cuisines. At the same time, with Pluto in the 6th house, this could be related to changes of your job, of your employment, and here, or perhaps a new business, or an expansion of your business to a certain extent. But overall, this is also about a change of your daily life, daily routine, daily habits. So a big change, a big shift of energy. And here that's Pluto in the 6th house. Moving forward, we've got 4 eclipses this year, 2 eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis, 2 eclipses on Aries and Libra axis. So these eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus started at the end of 2021, and they will come to an end in 2023. So with the eclipses, we look at the whole series of eclipses, not just one single eclipse. It doesn't make sense because they keep reoccurring over the course of 2 years, more or less. So here, these eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus, this is your 3rd and the 9th house. So you'll be completing for next year. These are lunar eclipses, first in Scorpio in May, then in Taurus in October, and you will be completing studies, perhaps some higher education studies or short courses. Perhaps you might be completing an important course related to your driving license here. This could be also the case. But overall, this is also related to an important travel or a trip or a project that you've been working on. So whatever the scenario, something here is coming to an end, something that you've been working on in the last, it will be over 2 years by the time the eclipses are over, and your attention will shift into a different area of life. And this is the 8th and the 2nd house, so money and finances. And these energies will already begin as we begin the year with Jupiter as transit in Aries, and then the eclipses will bring lots of changes. And these changes could include an inheritance, here with Pluto moving into Aquarius, Saturn into the 7th. This could be related to a new job, new source of income, changes in your income, without a doubt. Now, so inheritance, investments, buying something, investing your money in something for the future. So you will be generally here reinventing your financial sphere. This is about here building a more secure future for yourself in a way. So this is the eclipses here on Libra and Aries, and we've got 2 solar eclipses next year. So this will be about some new beginnings concerning these areas of life. The first one is in Aries in April, then in October, another one in Libra. Now, since the North Node will be in your 8th house, and wherever the North Node is present, this is when we receive more luck and support from the invisible forces. And the South Node is where we have to put more effort, more work. And here, this is also about you moving away here with the South Node, with the eclipses, especially on the South Node, moving away from some misconceptions regarding money, regarding wealth, about also moving away from anything that affects your self-esteem and self-worth, for example. All right, so here we've got these 2 eclipses and the nodes. Now, the nodes will move into Aries and Libra, the North Node in Aries, the South Node into Libra, on July the 18th until January the 11th. So here, yes, with the South Node transiting your 2nd house, this will be a time when you have to work harder to earn your income. However, on the other hand, any money that is not related to your income will come much easier. There will be more opportunities. So perhaps money that comes through investments or some government schemes, for example. All right, so here we've got Venus stationing retrograde this year in the sign of Leo. Venus will stay in Leo from June the 5th until October the 8th, and its retrograde will start on July the 11th until September the 4th. So Venus in the 12th house could be, on one hand, you might feel like you're not appreciated by others, for example, because here the energies are hidden in the 12th house. However, on the other hand, this is when if you form a relationship during this time, you may want to keep it secret, because you become secretive here with Venus in the 12th house. You want to keep things from others. And if you establish a new relationship around this time, then you might want to keep it to yourself. You might want to keep it private, at least in the initial phase of this transit. Now, here Venus retrograde could also bring some ex-relationship, ex-partners into your life. However, if you want to have any beauty treatments done or any major makeovers during Venus retrograde, it's not advisable, because you won't be, or you are unlikely to be satisfied with the outcomes, with the results here. Venus rules your second and the 9th house. So here during Venus transit in the 12th house, you might also find yourself taking a beautiful trip away, because the 12th house is also connected to foreign places. So you might be in a foreign place, and a beautiful place, generally surrounded by beauty. Or perhaps you might want to spend your money as well on spiritual activities, on a therapy, for example, on a trip to a spiritual retreat. All right, so thank you very much, Virgos. I wish you a happy new year 2023, and let's move to the next sign. Hello, Libras, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year 2023. So here, this is a big year for you, because the nodes are going to shift into your sign and your opposing sign, Aries, and also we will have the eclipses happening in your sign. So really exciting times. Now, as we begin the year, it is likely to be slightly slow, a slow start to the year, because Mars and Mercury are still retrograde, and also Uranus. So here, as the weeks go by towards the end of January, you will see that life will pick up, and you will be able to make more progress, reach your goals and objectives. But here, keep these dates in mind: the 12th and the 18th of January. Mars will station direct first on the 12th, and then Mercury on the 18th. So generally, when a planet changes direction from a direct motion into retrograde or vice versa, these are usually important events, significant days when important decisions are made, or perhaps you might have some really brilliant idea that you might want to implement into your life moving forward. Here, Mars was here retrograde in your 9th house. So if you've been experiencing delays related to any legal matters concerning immigration, or perhaps citizenship application, so here things will move forward for you starting from the second part of January. All right, so here we go. Now travel will be also much easier and more pleasant as well, along with communication. Now towards the end of January, all the planets will be in a direct motion, so you will see that life will really pick up, and for a good couple of months things will move very quickly for us, which is great. Now here, as we begin the year, Jupiter is in Aries, in your opposing sign, in your 7th house. You have already tasted a little bit of this transit mid-2022. Now Jupiter is coming back into this area, and it will go through every single degree of Aries until May the 16th. So this is good news. So this is likely to bring, this transit is likely to, first of all, improve your relationship with people who are important to you, truly the ones who truly matter. And these are really strong bonds, connections, one-to-one connections. Generally, universe may also attract people into your life who will help you to grow and move forward with some important ideas and objectives. Jupiter is the planet of luck, abundance, and good fortune. With Jupiter, we need to take the first step. So take advantage of these new connections that come into your life, because they might be really beneficial. They might be really like empowering, and generally make you open new doors for you, new doors of opportunity. So positive connections. At the same time, here you might be also you might get involved in a business with a family member, with a cousin, next of kin, or sibling. Here Sagittarius rules your 3rd house, and Jupiter is its ruler in the 7th of partnerships. So here, this could be also the case. Now, for those who are single, you may also start a new relationship in the next 2 years, because Jupiter will create opportunities for perhaps meeting the one. At the same time, here we are going to have the eclipses and the nodes shifting into this area of life. So you will attract really interesting individuals into your life over the course of the next 2.5 years. So this is really, really good news. Now, Jupiter here in the 7th house may also create opportunities for travel. You may travel with your partner, with your business partner as well. So here generally there's an element of something foreign, or perhaps you may meet some foreign connections throughout this transit as well. Now, from the 17th of May, Jupiter will move into Taurus, into your 8th house. So Jupiter in the 8th house benefits generally any financial transactions that are not related to your regular income. So perhaps this could be related to investments, inheritance, or perhaps this could be also related to generally improvement when it comes to your lifestyle. And here with Jupiter in the 8th house, you seek deep and strong bonds with others. And this might seem more realistic, more optimistic as well. So generally here with Jupiter in the 8th house, money may come through investments, inheritance, commissions as well, bonuses. So something extra that isn't your regular monthly or weekly income. Right. So here, if you are going to apply for a loan or a mortgage, then you may also get a really lucky deal with Jupiter in your 8th house in the second part of 2023. Right, so on the 8th of March, we've got Saturn moving into Aquarius, and this is a big shift of energy, because Saturn moves signs roughly every 2.5 to 3 years. Sometimes it always stays around 2.5 years, but sometimes it starts its transition into a new sign slightly earlier, and then it keeps moving back and forth between two signs until it establishes itself in a new sign. So this will be the case with Pisces and Aries transition from Pisces to Aries. Here, Saturn will move into Pisces and stay in Pisces. It won't be returning back into Aquarius. So this is the end of a story here with Saturn leaving your 5th house, the end of a story related to creative self-expression, hobbies, interests. So you'll be finalizing perhaps some projects, creative projects, but at the same time you are moving into Saturn is moving into your 6th house. So what does it mean? It means that your responsibilities are likely to increase in the next 2.5 years, because here Saturn wants you to become more organized in your daily life, wants more structure, and a healthier balance between your home and your work life. So here Saturn in Aquarius was more beneficial for your Libra rising sign, because these two signs connected by a trine with Saturn in the 6th house and Pisces. There isn't a connection. It's an inconjunction. It's called an inconjunction, but there isn't a strong, solid aspect of any sort, or a major aspect. So here, this is generally about putting more effort into your daily life, increased responsibilities, and this could be as a result of perhaps a higher position or more work. And here you will have to put more effort, but in a way, if you set yourself in the right mindset and you put the right work into into your daily life, then when Jupiter moves into Cancer, starting in around 2025, then you will get lots of rewards in your work life, in your outside world. So if you dedicate a bit more energy next year and the following year into your work sphere, into your everyday routine, and you will really see some great benefits, starting even earlier, much earlier, but starting in 2024, when Jupiter moves into the 9th house. and it will expand your opportunities for new experiences, for more spontaneity in your life. So here Saturn in the sixth house, this is also about being conscious about your diet, making sure that you eat well, because you might be very busy in your life, in your daily life, and you might forget to eat healthily. And this can result, first of all, Saturn shrinks anything that it touches, so you may lose weight because Saturn is connected to bones, to teeth, and here you might lose weight as a result of poor dietary choices, increased responsibilities. So make sure that you maintain a healthy diet during this time, and also make sure that you go for dental checkups as well throughout this transit. Not that something will happen, but it's good to stay on the top of your game, especially if you are aware of these energies approaching. Right, so that's here Saturn, and here with Pluto on the 23rd, moving into Aquarius. This is about a transformation that may occur in your children's life. Your parenting style may transform. You will have to watch out now moving forward. What you teach your children, what you show them, what you do with them generally, because it will have a very intense and strong impact on their life, on their development. At the same time, you might become obsessed in a new hobby, a new interest. You may attract individuals into your life, especially the ones in a romantic sense, who might be mysterious, secretive. Now here, this is also about the transformation that comes into your lifestyle, and you might also become attracted to slightly deeper experiences when it comes to things that you do for entertainment, for fun. So I made a separate video about this transit recently. So if you want to go deeper into Pluto and Aquarius, I will link it in the description box down below this video. Now we've got 4 eclipses this coming year, 2 eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis, and 2 eclipses on Libra and Aries axis. So we are coming to an end when it comes to the eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus. When we look at the eclipses, we look at the whole series of eclipses. A single eclipse, one single eclipse, it doesn't make sense to look at it from this perspective unless we deal with it at the time. But since they haven't happened yet, we're talking about the future, we look at the whole, at the bigger picture. So in 2021, at the end of 2021, you started a series of eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis, and these will end in 2023. We will have a Scorpio eclipse on the 5th of May, then a Taurus eclipse, lunar eclipse on the 28th of October, both lunar, and they are about endings, conclusions. You will be finalizing something connected to your money sphere, to your income, to maybe your investments, perhaps completing a major purchase of some sort. So here, transformation and changes, projects related to money and to your personal resources, possessions, these areas of life. Now, any projects related to these areas of life will come to an end. Next year, you will be finalizing them. And so here, at the same time, in April and then in October, first in Aries and in Libra, we're going to have 2 eclipses, in a solar eclipse in Aries and a solar eclipse in Libra. So a solar eclipse is about major new beginnings. So here, these eclipses will last until spring 2025, and these are about you and about your relationship. So here, I've just gone through these eclipses myself, and I also had the South Node in my first house in my sign, Scorpio rising, and then so here these eclipses. This is about a self-discovery, self-improvement, a makeover of your physical appearance. Perhaps you might be fixing something in yourself and or even your physical appearance. I know actually many Scorpio rising, including myself, who had their braces fitted or Invisalign. Generally here dental treatments of some sort, but here this is about your physical appearance, self-improvement, self-discovery, your career as well, because the moon rules your career life, and whenever there is an eclipse, it always influences your outside world. Now, the eclipses on in Aries, in your 7th house, these will be about changes in your relationships. So perhaps your friendships, your strong one-to-one friendships may change throughout this time. Perhaps a friend may depart, you may establish a new friendship. This is also about a new business partnership, for example, or perhaps your current existing relationship might go through some changes. This could be related to engagement, this could be related to marriage. Now, some relationships, unfortunately, might not survive, and but you will likely know about this. You will feel these energies sooner. It won't just happen probably suddenly, but you will probably feel like this isn't it. But at the same time, someone else may come into your life pretty quickly, because during the eclipses season especially, things happen quickly, and there could be a sudden turn of events. But here, those who are single may also begin a new relationship, because eclipses are super strong, 5 to 6 times stronger than a regular new moon or a full moon. So these are about definitely some new people that will come into your life. You've got Jupiter here as well to promote further growth and opportunities. I didn't have Jupiter in my 7th house, so this will be even a better experience for you here with the eclipses and Jupiter here as well. So the nodes will move into Aries and Libra, the North Node in Aries, the South Node in Libra on July the 18th until January the 11th of 2025. And then finally, Venus will station retrograde this year. Generally, Venus will be in Leo for quite a long time, from June the 5th until October the 8th, and then it will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th. So generally, with Venus in the 11th house, while it's in a direct motion, this will attract new friendships, is likely. This will also be a good time when it comes to presenting your work, getting yourself out there into a larger audience, in group activities. You've got this beautiful aura surrounded around you with Venus in Leo that really benefits group activities, teamwork, social events. You may actually meet someone during a social event or a concert, because you've got Jupiter in your 7th house. Actually, at that point, it will be in the 8th house, but it's still intimate life highlighted. But here you are going to start the eclipses in Aries and Libra next year as well. Venus in the 11th. Yes, many Libras may meet someone at a concert, at I don't know, some social event. But also the 11th house, this is the second house from the 10th. And if the 10th house is your business, your career, then the 11th house will be the profits that you make from your business. And here with Venus in a direct motion, this will be a really fruitful time for your own business. Venus in Leo sextiles Libra, any placements in Libra, so this is also very positive. Venus retrograde could bring people from the past into your life, ex-romantic partners, for example, but also there could be you will see some friendships, some people in your life from a different light. Any major makeovers, physical makeovers or beauty treatment are not advisable during Venus retrograde. So just keep this in mind. Thank you very much. I wish you a happy new year 2023. And let's move into the next sign. Hello Scorpios, and welcome to your horoscope for the year 2023. So here, as we begin the year, Mars, your traditional ruler, is still retrograde until January the 12th, along with Mercury until January the 18th. So it could be a rather slow start to the year. However, from the 12th and then the 18th, things will really start to pick up, especially since Uranus will also station direct towards the end of January, and you will see that life will take a very fresh and new turn. So really exciting news, especially since Mars is your and mine, because Scorpio rising is also my sign, traditional ruler. So hopefully from the 12th and then 18th moving forward, we are going to see more progress in our lives, and we are likely to do. Now here Jupiter is in Aries until the 16th of May, and Jupiter in Aries is bold, courageous. Jupiter in Aries, that's your 6th house, so Jupiter will be in here until May the 16th. So here you will be able to expand yourself within your career, your work life especially. Here Jupiter can bring new opportunities, new ideas that will allow you to make progress at your work. So this is very positive when it comes to seeking a new employment, when it comes to improving your position within your existing role. At the same time, you may also expand your connections with your coworkers. Here with Jupiter in the 6th house, your daily life is likely to be pretty busy as well, because Jupiter, unlike Saturn, it expands anything that it touches. So generally your daily life activities will also expand. You may also start new activities, and overall, since Jupiter is connected to anything that's foreign, some Scorpios may also travel for work, travel abroad. Now, Jupiter in the 6th house may also change your taste, change your diet, change your dietary choices. So here Jupiter is connected to fatty and saucy foods, and this can also make you crave different type of meals. So it's something to keep in mind, especially if you're diet and health conscious. However, at the same time, you might be also attracted to exotic cuisines. For example, Jupiter rules anything that's foreign tradition as well. Now, on the 17th of May, Jupiter will move into your 7th house, so this will be a really good time until the end of 2023, and then again from the beginning of 2024. For improving your one-to-one connection. And I think that the universe will attract some interesting individuals into our lives who will help us to grow, to reach our goals. So some interesting connections, I think, will come along with this transit. But also, if you are already in a solid commitment, and well, there could be engagement, there could be marriage, because Jupiter is the planet of luck, abundance. We need to be practical and realistic in order to avoid disappointment and make sure we set our goals in a very realistic way, so that we can achieve them. However, with Jupiter in your 7th house here, you may also travel with your partner, or perhaps you may travel abroad and meet someone with whom you may form a relationship. We've just had the eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis, and we will have 2 more next year. So this isn't the end of the story. So Jupiter could really bring some luck here. Right, so moving forward, on the 8th of March, Saturn will move into Pisces. Saturn in Pisces, this is your 5th house. So Saturn can shrink anything that it touches. Saturn can make you more serious as well when it comes to enjoying life. Perhaps you will either choose more serious activities, or perhaps you will choose activities that will also help you to learn and something from your involvement in them, because here Saturn is also the old teacher here in astrology. However, with Saturn in the 5th house, it might be difficult sometimes to just relax, because you might have a lot of responsibilities to deal with, activities even here. So Jupiter will be still in your 6th house, expanding your daily activities or perhaps workload. But Saturn in the 5th house might also make you more responsible. If you have your own business, if you're a freelancer, self-employed, you will take a more responsible approach towards your business growth, towards establishing yourself in your career and in your field, for example. So yes, there's this sober and responsible approach towards life. There's more seriousness in the air. Now, you may also attract, if you're single, people into your life, romantic partners who will be either more mature than you, or more serious, or even older. Now, Saturn in the 5th house, this is also about becoming serious about some interests, hobbies. You might be also moving away from some of these interests and other hobbies that perhaps that you might no longer be interested in them. And also the parenting style might change, and you might want to implement perhaps more structure into your parenting style, and bring generally more order here. All right, so here we go. Now, Pluto will move into Aquarius on the 23rd of March. Pluto in Aquarius, this is your fourth house. So I will discuss this transit. I discussed this transit in depth in my recent video, so I will link it in the description box down below this this video. But here with Pluto in the fourth house, this is about the transformation that comes on a very deep and emotional level here. So with Pluto in the fourth house, this is about changes in your emotional life, in your home life, family life as well. Now here with Pluto, many Scorpios might be relocating in the near future, in the next few years, because Pluto will only stay here for a couple of months next year until June the 11th, and then it will return into Aquarius more permanently in 2024. However, next year you will experience a little taste of these energies. Now, this is your modern ruler, so you are used to transformation, you are used to intensity and intense experiences. So perhaps it might not be as scary as you may think. But overall, there's this strong focus on your home life, family foundation. And here, as I said, relocation is possible, and or maybe some major building work done at your current location. There could be also changes in your family structure, and perhaps there could be separation in your family. There could be death. Pluto is the lord of death, or perhaps some traditions might die. It doesn't have to be a literal death, but perhaps some traditions, some old traditions, perhaps some outlived beliefs could also here be the case here concerning your home. So you will be generally implementing major changes at your home. And with Pluto, it's important to go with the flow, because if you really block these energies, you might see that it will be more difficult to get through. But overall, here changes in the inner life in your home. Now, here moving forward, we've got the nodes moving into Aries and Libra the next year on July the 18th until January and the 11th of 2025. And with the nodes, so the nodes here will move into Aries and into Libra, and we will start a new series of eclipses on Aries and Libra axis. So here, up until now, since the end of 2021, we were dealing with Scorpio and Taurus eclipses, along with the nodes in these signs. So the south node was in Scorpio, and the north node in the seventh house in Taurus. And next year, on May the 5th in Scorpio, and then on October 28th in Taurus, these will be the final eclipses on these axes, and these will be lunar eclipses. A lunar eclipse is about endings, conclusions, so you'll be finalizing some important ideas, projects related to your personal life, to your identity, as well as to your relationships, business partnerships, and contracts. Now, every eclipse also influences your career life outside the world, because this is where Leo is present, your ruler, the ruler of your 10th house. So here you will be still completing some important projects about concerning your life, concerning your relationships. And then we will move into Aries and Libra eclipses, and these eclipses will be both solar, so new beginnings, and in April there will be an Aries solar eclipse, and in October a Libra solar eclipse. Now, the north node will be in Aries, the south node in Libra. So wherever the south node is present, there is more work to be done, and there are things that you will have to move away from, because that's what the south node, we're moving away from something that's lost its spark and purpose, or that's something that's overly familiar and no longer needed in your life. And with the north node, there is more lack, more support from the invisible forces. At the same time, this is about new beginnings concerning your work and employment. So we look at these eclipses from a larger perspective, and Basically, these eclipses will last until spring 2025, and they will be about healing, about therapy for some people, but definitely healing work. Many Scorpio rising will also get involved in healing jobs, so provide healing support for others. And at the same time, you will go through changes in your lifestyle, your everyday routine, everyday life. Work and employment here is emphasized as well. The sixth house, change of diet as well. So this isn't just about something that will happen overnight. You will be working on these areas of life over the course of 2 years, changing, reinventing your a private life, your spiritual world. And at the same time, your daily life, your lifestyle, your work life will also go through changes. New beginnings are on the horizon as well. Now, finally, Venus will move into Leo for a few good months on June the 5th until October the 8th. And it will station retrograde in the meantime from July the 22nd until September the 4th. So with Venus in a direct motion here, in your 10th house, this will attract positive opportunities for that will allow career growth, but also you will make a very good impression on others in your outside world. So that's really great. Now, when Venus stations retrograde, this is when things might be slightly more tricky, and you might experience delays and a difficulty to reach your objectives, reach your goals concerning your career. So you will have to be patient with yourself. Now, since the 10th house is also your public image, so if you want to change something in this regard, be mindful, because any major drastic changes during Venus retrograde might not come out the way you would wish or have planned, because that's a retrograde. You may regret some of your decisions. So generally, retrogrades are good for returning back into something that started in the past, but not necessarily for starting anything brand new and fresh. So just here on the side note, we will explore these energies month by month next year. In the meantime, enjoy the energies of the upcoming months. Happy New Year 2023, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year 2023. So here this year we've got lots of fresh energies that will allow growth and development on a personal level. So here we start the year on a slightly slower note, because Mars is still retrograde in Gemini until January the 12th, and then Mercury until January the 18th. So here with these retrogrades, overall, retrogrades can bring delays and frustration. However, this is only the first couple of weeks of this year. And then from the end of January, both Mars and Mercury will be in a direct motion along with Uranus, and life will really pick up and you will see more progress, and it will be easier to reach your goals and milestones. So here, generally here with Gemini moving forward for you, you'll be able to reach your objectives, especially the ones connected to your love life, to your commitments, to your business. Communication will become much easier as well, because here Mercury retrograde is also impacted negatively your career and your relationship. So here things will definitely improve from the second part of January. And as we begin the year, Jupiter is in Aries, and Jupiter in Aries is courageous, is bold, and this is happening in your 5th house. So the 5th house is related to children, romance, fun, entertainment, creativity. So here with Jupiter in your 5th house, this is about reconnecting with your inner child. This is about gaining more self-confidence in your creative abilities. So this is a fantastic transit for really putting your energies into growing either your own business, into growing and developing your skills, your talents. And generally here with Jupiter, you want spontaneity, you want to have fun, you want to enjoy life. And if you are single, you may attract a very interesting individual into your life. And this relationship is likely to be pretty adventurous as per Jupiter's qualities. Now with Jupiter, you will have to be realistic, because you can easily overextend yourself and get involved in activities that perhaps may also create disappointment, like gambling. You will have to be careful with gambling, because with Jupiter you might feel like you can reach the skies here, or the stars, and you can, but this is also being down to earth, grounded here, and being realistic about how much you can possibly achieve. All right, so here we go. On the 17th of May, Jupiter will move into Taurus, and it will stay here until the end of the year, and then again at the beginning of 2024. So during this time, you will see that your work life, your employment will really pick up, and you will get involved in new activities, and there will be generally more activities during the day. So you will have to stay organized. However, with Jupiter, this is also a lucky time for your work life, for your employment. So if you are unemployed, you are likely to find a job definitely here in the second part of the year. If you find yourself struggling here around I would say around May, then here when Jupiter moves into Taurus on the 17th of May, things will definitely move forward for you. So this is really good news. But overall, with Jupiter here, you may travel abroad for work, or perhaps you may also go on business trips. Definitely some foreign travel could be the case here. But this is also about changes concerning your dietary habits. Jupiter might also make you crave more fatty foods, saucy foods, exotic foods even. But with a change of diet, this could also create gain, general imbalance when it comes to your weight. So it's something that you will have to watch throughout this time. But here with Jupiter, Jupiter is an important planet in your chart. This is your ruler. So wherever Jupiter travels, this is an important area of your focus. So here Jupiter will change sign twice next year. So you will see that things will definitely, you will be very busy next year in general. That's what I want to say. Now here on the 8th of March, Saturn will move into Pisces. Saturn in Pisces in your 4th house. Saturn is a planet that can bring increased responsibilities. So when Saturn moves here into your 4th house, and Saturn is your 2nd house ruler, you may have to deal with some repairs. Things that perhaps were overlooked in the past now might break, and you will have to fix them. So this is about fixing your house. Saturn in the 4th house isn't always about a relocation. This is often about bringing more structure into your current home situation. You might be relocating. It's not. I'm not saying you won't, but here it looks like you will be spending your money on your home here from March onwards, and this could be because you have to fix something at your home, or perhaps it could be because you will have to buy additional appliances. Something may break, or perhaps you will be relocating, depending on your circumstances, of course. But here Saturn may bring some frustrations and limitations, make you fix things and repair things, especially things that haven't been really working well. Suddenly might break. Now, Saturn in the 4th house can also make you at times withdraw from your family life. Saturn can create a feeling of a loneliness, a feeling that you can't really rely on your family members. It's not a feeling that you will experience all the time, but there could be days when you feel slightly low in energy, and you might feel like there isn't any support. You don't have any support in your family, that you have to deal with your problems on your own. So this could be a feeling that you may experience throughout this time also. But here with Saturn really wants you to bring more structure into your life. And you might be restructuring your home, changing your residence, it's possible, but overall fixing things. And you might be also dealing with some bills repayments concerning your home, especially the ones that you didn't pay in the past. Now when Saturn moves into Pisces, you will have to also deal with them. Saturn is connected to authority, so perhaps you may deal with some delayed payments that perhaps you didn't have a chance to fulfill recently. Now, it doesn't have to be all negative here. Don't worry. Here with Saturn in the 4th house, Saturn can also bring some delay, so you have to be well prepared You will have to be well prepared when it comes to any renovations, when it comes to fixing things, because some people might let you down. Some people might let you down. You will have to find someone else. I've just gone through this transit, and here renovations took their time, and I generally things were not really moving in a easy way. I had to put some work into finding the right person to fix something or to do some work at home. I did feel lonely. I did feel lonely many times, and I think perhaps this loneliness, this negative thinking that could occur is here because for us to realize what we have, encounter our blessings, perhaps appreciate what we do have. Right, so I made a separate video about this transit where I discussed it in more depth, so I will link it in the description box down below this video. Now let's move into Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto will move into your 3rd house on the 23rd of March until June the 11th. And this transit will only take a few months in 2023. It will be much longer from 2024 onwards. However, next year you will get a little taste of what it could be like. And this transit will likely make you really, really obsessed with some topics. And this transit will also create a very curious mind, a probing mind, and you will enjoy researching things about certain ideas, certain topics, in order to get to the depth of this topic. So this is about learning, but on a very deep level. And you might become obsessed with an idea. And when I had this transit in my 3rd house, I discovered astrology, and yes, and this is also good for studying, learning, because you can get to the depth, or you want to get to the depth of this issue, this problem. And I have a family member with Pluto in the 3rd house, and they just love information. They've got this passion, obsession into learning about facts, about information. So this could be the case for you. Learning, exchange of information. This could be the theme. Now, this is also, you might become a writer, blogger during this time, or perhaps you might get involved in software development or website design, for example, because Aquarius is related to progressive, futuristic thinking. With Pluto, the planet of transformation, intensity, you might get involved in this kind of work here in the next few years. There could be also transformation when it comes into your relationship with your siblings, cousins. There could be also how you relate to one another might change. Right, so this is it. Now, the nodes will move into Aries and Libra on July the 18th until January the 11th of 2025. And here, with this in mind, we are going to begin eclipses on Aries and Libra axis that will last until spring 2025. So, at the same time, we are ending eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis that began at the end of 2021. And these eclipses were on your 6th and 12th house. So changes connected to your diet, anything to do with illnesses, anything to do with work, employment, or your lifestyle, healing, therapy, charity work. This is coming to an end. Any projects, ideas related to that are coming to conclusion here. You are ending these chapters. You are ending this story. However, it doesn't have to be that this story ends and disappears from your life. Perhaps whatever work you had to put into it is now completed. It won't be needed anymore to that extent. And we are moving into a different area of life. So here you will have a lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th of May, and then a lunar eclipse in Taurus on 28th of October. And these eclipses will be about conclusions, endings, a greater awareness as well. Now, here with the nodes shifting into your 5th and 11th house. So here the North Node will be in the 5th. Wherever the North Node is present, this is where we get more luck, abundance, and things just become easier. With the South Node, we need to put more effort, and oftentimes there is a clear out also. So here, it looks like you will be moving away from some friendships in your life in the next 2 years. Some people will depart, and you will welcome new friendships because there will be eclipses happening here as well. So on one hand, some people will depart. On the other hand, other people will arrive, and you will welcome new people in your life. Your goals, objectives for the future will change. You will set yourself new goals starting from next year. And also you might develop a new hobby, new interest, because you've got Jupiter here until the 16th of May, and then the eclipses will also occur. So it looks like you will be also reinventing yourself in the creative sense, perhaps starting a new business of some sort, or perhaps some Sagittarians might have a baby, might conceive, for example. So yes, this could be related. Now the 11th house is related to adoption, so you might adopt a child here as well. Right, so this is the eclipses, and finally, the final thing I wanted to discuss is Venus retrograde in Leo. Venus will be in Leo for quite a while, from June the 5th until October the 8th, and Venus in Leo, so you could really enjoy a beautiful travel during this time, a beautiful travel, and for those who are single, you may meet someone in a romantic sense during this travel, or perhaps the universe will attract someone to you who comes from a different country, culture to yours. You might become interested in learning a new language, for example. But overall, there is this need for adventure, spontaneity, and this is likely to be very pleasant and energizing at the same time. However, Venus will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th, and during this time you might experience delays and things generally might be on hold, related to foreign travel, related to any projects connected to broadcasting or publishing, or perhaps anything to do with legal matters concerning immigration. So perhaps during this Venus retrograde, it wouldn't be a good time for applying for a new passport, for applying for citizenship, because you might experience delays, things might not go the way you want, or perhaps the documents might get lost in transit. So something to definitely keep in mind. I'll add all these dates in the description box down below this video, so don't worry. And also here we will explore the energies of 2023 month by month, and in more detail. This is just to give you some overview for the next year. Thank you very much. Happy New Year 2023, and let's move into the next sign. Thank you very much. Hello Capricorns, and welcome to your horoscope for the year 2023. So here, the year 2023 begins on a rather slower note. Mars is still retrograde along with Mercury and Uranus. However, not for too long, because on the 12th of January, Mars will station direct in Gemini. Here, Gemini rules your 6th house of work. So any delays, any frustrations you may have experienced in your daily life at your work will now disappear slowly, because Mars will be in a direct motion moving forward. Here with Mars in the 6th house, there is lots going on in your life. However, you will be able to achieve your objectives with more ease here with Mars being direct on the 12th. So there could be also something that happens, significant happens around this day as well. Now on the 18th, we've got Mercury stationing direct in Capricorn in your 1st house. So this is a big deal, because when a planet is retrograde in our sign, we often experience frustration or lack of clarity regarding our life, our goals. This will also become less of a problem from the 18th of January when Mercury stations direct. So by the end of January, all the planets will be in a direct motion, and life will start to move at a much faster pace. So it will be easier to reach your goals and milestones moving forward for a few months. Now, at the same time, we've got Jupiter still in Aries since the 21st, 22nd of December. Jupiter will be in Aries until May the 16th. And with Jupiter in Aries in your 4th house. This is about here growth, abundance, and good fortune coming into your home life. But here with Jupiter, well, this could play out in a few different ways. First of all, Jupiter is the planet that is connected to expansion and growth. So you could literally desire more space at your home. So here, this transit could lead to relocation, or you moving to a different surroundings, even abroad temporarily for some people, since Jupiter is connected to anything that's foreign. But at the same time here, you will desire more space, you will want to make your home a more comfortable environment, or perhaps if it isn't related to a relocation, you will still want to implement some changes in order to gain more space, more comfort at your home. So that's Jupiter in the 4th house in the sign of Aries. Now here, this transit is beneficial here for definitely reaching your goals related to your home and emotional inner safety and security. And Jupiter will move into Taurus on May the 17th, and it will remain here until the end of the year, and then still early in 2024. Jupiter in the 5th house, this is about, well, it could play out here again differently for different people depending on your circumstances. However, Jupiter in the 5th house could be related to a conception, could be related to childbirth, could be related also to you wanting to get involved in some really expansive activities that stimulate growth, that stimulate adventure. Here, Jupiter is connected to adventure, so you may seek to generally live your life in a more kind of spontaneous way, at least sometimes. And generally here with Jupiter in the 5th house, this is about new hobbies, new interests also. Now, dating might be also on your mind, and here you may attract individuals into your life who are who come from different cultures, backgrounds to yours, perhaps who also might be very spontaneous adventurers. Generally, you seek new experience with this transit as well. This is about growing your creative skills and talents and reconnecting with your inner child. Here on the 8th of March, Saturn, your ruler, will change signs into Pisces. So whenever Saturn changes signs, it also influences you or impacts you on a deeper level, because this is your chart ruler. Saturn will move into Pisces on the 8th, and it will stay there until February 2026, and then from May 2025 it will start its transition into Aries. However, it will move back and forth for a few months until it establishes itself properly in Aries in 2026. So here Pisces rules your 3rd house with Saturn. Saturn is about structure, discipline, responsibility, maturity. You might become a more mature communicator. You might also become a writer, a journalist, or perhaps a blogger, but you will take a very serious and a sober approach to any projects, especially the ones related to communication that you start throughout this transit. Now, on a different level here, Saturn can also bring some tension in your relationship with your siblings or cousin, but this would especially relate to people who have already experienced some issues with their relatives recently. Saturn here could bring some testing and challenging times, but here this is only to help you to resolve any deeply rooted dilemmas or issues and help you to strengthen this relationship. Now here with Saturn in the 3rd house, you might also want to gain a driving license, or whatever that you do here during this transit connected to this will be connected to learning or studying, working with projects connected to communication, writing. So you will have to be responsible, consistent, because this way you will get best results. Right, so here Saturn can bring delays as well when it comes to travel. However, here, if you want to explore this topic further, I will link a video that I made recently about Saturn's transit in Pisces for all signs in the description box down below this video. Now, let's move on into Pluto. Pluto will change signs on the 23rd of March. It will move into Aquarius just for a short period of time. It will move back here into Aquarius more permanently for about 20 years. It will still go back into Capricorn in 2024, just for a few months, but overall, the proper transition will begin in 2024. Here, next year, we'll just get a little taste. Aquarius, this is your second house. Transformation in regards to your approach to money, wealth, resources, possessions. You might see yourself decluttering a lot, getting rid of lots of things that you don't need anymore. Transformation here, a clear out comes into this area of life. Here you might also experience a little crisis at some point, because this is the house that also rules your self-worth and self-esteem and personal value. So you will be also redefining your personal values, reinventing yourself in some way here. But your approach to money, wealth, resources, possessions, the material world will definitely change. Now, some Capricorns might also develop an obsession with some object of desire. So you will have to kind of learn to control some urges if you experience any of these urges. But here Pluto will trine your Libra 10th house. So this is very good, because this transit, even though there's this transformation in the money sphere, could also bring some empowering energies for you to move up in your career. Also in 2023, we will end and complete eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis that started at the end of 2021. Those eclipses influenced your sphere of friendships and creativity, creative self-expression, perhaps some independent work. So here with 2 lunar eclipses on Taurus and Scorpio axis next year in 2023, you will be finishing some projects, some ideas, completing and generally gaining a much better clarity. Where is it that you stand with your friendships? Where is it that you stand with your future goals? Where is it that you want to go moving forward? So these eclipses, a lunar eclipse is about some endings, some things coming to conclusion. At the same time, there is this great awareness here with these eclipses. So the first one will be in Scorpio on the 5th of May, and then on the 28th of October, there will be another one in the sign of Taurus. Right, so these are the eclipses. So this is the end of the story that began in November 2021, and the nodes are moving to Aries and Libra this coming year on July the 18th until January the 11th of 2025. So here, with this in mind, these eclipses on Libra and Aries axis, these are your important areas of life, your career and your home. So while Jupiter will bring some luck, abundance at your home in the first month of the year, then the eclipses will take off and the nodes will shift. So wherever the North Node is present, this is where the activities connected to this area of life are easier achieved. However, with the South Node, which will be in your 10th house, you will have to put more work, more effort in order to achieve desired results. So here changes are definitely coming. Eclipses bring changes, and there is a shift of energy. So that's definitely here. It will come up in the next 2 years for you. But here we've got the first one will be a solar eclipse in Aries, a very late degree, an erratic degree. So here some new beginnings at your home will take place, will take off. And it's very possible because Jupiter will be here. So you will have time to really see your home from a different light, get some ideas. And then when this eclipse comes in place, then you will have a better idea what is it that you want to do, and you might initiate some changes, implement some ideas. But as with every eclipses, family of eclipses, we look at a bigger picture. So this is a 2 years influence that will change your career life and your home life as well. So this could be definitely related to a relocation, change of residence, renovations, birth of a child, and here, or perhaps an adoption as well. The 11 house rules adoption, and there will be a lunar eclipse here in in May, on the 5th of May, in your 11th house. So you might be also finalizing some paperwork, and here this could be also the case for some Capricorns. So whatever the scenario here, changes on the home front and career life are coming for you, and you will be reinventing yourself at the same time. And this could be related to a new career. This could be related also to a change of your position, for example. However, while you deal with these eclipses in 2024, Jupiter will move into your 6th house of work, and at the same time you will still go through these eclipses on your career life area and your home life. So it looks like there will be changes happening at your work, in your organization, and anything to do with your career development and growth. Right, so the final thing I wanted to discuss is Venus. Venus will station retrograde this year in the sign of Leo. It will move into Leo on June the 5th until October the 8th. And Leo rules your 8th house. So whenever Venus moves into a new area of life, this is usually a lucky time. Well, a lucky time because Venus has got this beautiful, charming energy that attracts good opportunities. Of course, Venus wants to have fun. With Venus, we might feel lazy sometimes, and generally when it comes to the practicalities, because Venus wants to enjoy the simple pleasure of life, and it might be difficult to just concentrate on the practical side of life. Now, this is happening in your 8th house, so here you might be lucky when it comes to any commissions, any money that comes through commissions, bonuses, investments, or perhaps some government schemes, for example. On the other hand, here with Venus ruling your 8th house, perhaps especially during Venus retrograde, you might be spending money on your children, on their education activities. At the same time, Venus also rules your 10th house, so for this reason I said there could be luck that comes through any commissions, any money that isn't related to your regular income, something extra on the side. Here, you might be lucky in this area. At the same time, your intimate life may also bloom, so to speak. However, Venus will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th, and this is when things could slightly change. And as with every retrograde, it's not a good time for starting anything brand new. Things from the past may come back, people as well, or perhaps some paperwork, or even some payments that you forgot to cover in the past. They may also come back during Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde on its own in general is not a good time for making any drastic changes in your physical appearance, but this is a good time for reviewing, reassessing, and dealing with projects that you already started in the past. So we will explore these energies further next year, month by month, more in depth. This is just to give you some overview and some heads up so you know what to expect. Thank you very much. Happy New Year 2023. And let's move into the next sign. Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming year 2023. So this is a big year for you. Pluto is moving into your sign, along with other interesting transits taking place, and you are going to complete a series of eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis that influenced your home and career life. So these series of eclipses coming to an end in 2023. So let's begin from the very beginning, and this is January. January will be big. This is when things will pick up and life will start to move at a much faster pace. Here we've got Mars stationing direct in the sign of Gemini on the 12th of January. This is huge because Mars has been here since the 20th of August. Then it's stationed retrograde at the end of October. And then here it will finally station direct on the 12th of January. So great news. You will be able to move on with your life, move on with any projects as well, personal projects. So this is really fantastic. Now on the 18th, Mercury will station direct in Capricorn, and this is your 12th house. So here Mercury in Capricorn could have brought, especially retrograde, miscommunication, a feeling of not being heard or understood. So here, don't worry, this is temporary. If you're experiencing this kind of issues, then these kind of event situations will dissolve or will no longer be the case from the second part of or the end of January, when Mercury is in a direct motion. Then Uranus, your modern ruler, will also station direct. So here, towards the end of January, all the planets will be here moving forward, and so our lives. So this is really good news. Now here we've got Jupiter in Aries as we start the year, and Jupiter in Aries is a bold, courageous. Jupiter in Aries connects really well with your ascendant, with your first house, because here Aquarius and Aries are friends. They connect by a sextile, and this is really, really good. So here with Jupiter will bring some opportunities for you in the first 4.5 months. But here with Jupiter in the third house, this is about improved relationship with people from your community, with your neighbors. Here, opportunity to expand your connections, to meet new people, to attract new individuals into your life. At the same time, you might see yourself traveling quite a lot here in the first months of the year. And this could be related to work, education, or perhaps just fun and recreation. At the same time, your relationship with your siblings is likely to improve as well, because Jupiter brings positive energies as long as we are grounded, as long as we are realistic about our expectations without overextending ourselves. All right, so that's Jupiter in Aries until May the 16th. Then from May the 17th, Jupiter will move into your fourth house. So what does it mean, Jupiter in the fourth house? This will create a need for expansion. So you might crave larger space at your home, so more space. And this could also prompt you to perhaps move to a bigger space, or perhaps add more space to your home, or alternatively, declutter, get rid of things in order to gain more space. Now, at the same time, you may see yourself hosting family events, or perhaps for some Aquarius rising, this could be a time when your home is abroad, because Jupiter is connected to anything that's foreign. So you may see yourself living abroad temporarily, or alternatively, you may have visitors from abroad throughout this transit. This transit will last until the end of 2023, and it will still be here at the beginning of 2024. So a pretty long transit. Now on the 8th of March, Saturn will move into Pisces. And Saturn is your traditional ruler, Saturn here. So you will feel these energies here, a change of shift of energy you will feel on a deeper level. But this is happening in your second house, and the second house deals with our own income, the money that we earn through our own efforts. This is also the area of our resources, possessions. So here with Saturn in the second house, you might become a minimalist during this time, because Saturn shrinks anything that it touches. So you might realize that you don't need that many material objects around you. So here Saturn might prompt a desire to declutter, or perhaps you won't need to buy that many things in the next 2.5 years while Saturn remains in this house. So generally less material objects. Now Saturn might also make you save money, so spend less, and a need generally to save money for the future. You might become more aware of your retirement, of your old age, and you'll be more cautious as well with your finances. So here, this is a good time for bringing more structure into your financial sphere. And those who experience difficulty in building their financial area in a more constructive way, because it is possible with Pisces on your second house. It's difficult to because money kind of dissolves, and it's difficult to build wealth or a wealthy life. So Saturn here and Jupiter earlier brought a lot of luck into this area of life. So you had that opportunity. But Saturn here acts as your teacher, helping you to make the right decision or right decisions that will influence your life. So really, really take advantage of these energies, even though they might feel restricting and limiting at times. But here Saturn will really, really reward you if you put the right mindset into this area of life. from my own experience here, Saturn definitely was a big lesson for me, big lesson when it comes to finances, but I'm much better with my finances after having that transit a few years ago. And overall, it's Saturn's transits are needed. We need them. We need them. We need them to improve ourselves. And here Saturn is connected to maturity. And so here having this responsible and sober approach to money will really help you and reward you in the long term. All right, so on the 23rd, we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius. And here Aquarius is, of course, your rising sign. I released a video about this transit last week, and I received lots of comments, lots of feedback from people, and I really appreciated it. Some people were worried, some people were scared, other people were excited. So this transit, well, since Saturn is already, Pluto is in the final degrees of Capricorn and has been for quite a while, you have already started to feel these energies probably some time ago without even realizing it. Saturn will bring transformation on a very deep level. And with Jupiter moving into your 4th house next year, and also the eclipse is ending its influence in your 4th and 10th house. This is a time of transformation on a deeper level, transformation of the self. This is when you are going to be moving away from many aspects of your life, habits, routines, people even, that negatively contribute into your life. So you have this inner strength, inner power. So, Pluto is the planet connected to empowerment. And if someone disempowers you in your life, or has been, crushes your personality, your individuality, you will have the inner strength to move away from these individuals, move away from these habits or routines that negatively contribute into your life. So this is a transit that will lead to self-empowerment, and it will bring lots of transformative changes that could, and it's a 20 years transit, so it's not an overnight process. Next year you will start to feel these energies like properly, because it will enter your zodiac, and only for a few months, and then it will return again in 2024 and will stay there more permanently. So next year you will feel what this transit could bring for you in the long term, at least a little bit. And here, this is a huge transformation of the self, maybe even of physical appearance, of your goals. So your outlook on life will change as well with time. Now here, generally Saturn. So yes, so Aquarius is progressive. Aquarius is future oriented. So yes, your any plans that you may have had for yourself for the future might change completely as well. This is also about many things that you've been working on during Saturn in Capricorn transit, and Saturn in your 1st house. That was also about self-improvement, self-discovery. Many of these things may finally take off, but take a serious approach to your money here again, because Saturn will be in your 2nd house. So there could be lots of things taking off, projects, but you have to be very responsible. This is a kind of a time of maturity. A time of maturity for you, when you can really achieve a lot. Now, let's talk about the eclipses. We've got 4 eclipses this coming year. 2 eclipses on Aries and Libra axis, 2 eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis. So here we are completing the eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis, which have probably created lots of changes at your home and career. So this could have been a relocation, a purchase of a new home, and renovations, change of career, a new business. So lots of different possibilities could have occurred for you, event situations. Now these next year you will be finalizing these project ideas, because the energies, the universe wants you to focus on different area of life now, which is you and your identity very much. But here we've got, so yes, the eclipses on the Scorpio and Taurus, there will be one on the 5th of May in Scorpio, a lunar eclipse, and then one on the 28th of October in Taurus. So first, you will be finalizing something connected to your career life, your public life. Perhaps something is going to take off around this time as well, as with Pluto moving into your first house and Saturn into the second. Perhaps you are ready to complete your business plan, for example, and then this project will be ready to take off. Now here, with the lunar eclipse in Taurus, on the other hand, in October, you will be completing some home-related ideas, projects, and here you will be finalizing them. And also next year, we are starting a new series of eclipses on Aries and Libra axis. So these eclipses will last until spring 2025, and these eclipses will initiate changes when it comes to your sphere, well, connection with others, communication, your intellect, knowledge, how much, yes, your knowledge, your intellect, your community, travel. So the North Node will move into Aries and the South Node will move into Libra, and this will be on July the 18th until January the 11th of 2025, of the year 2025. So what does it mean for you? So here, first of all, Aries and Libra are friends with you because Aries connects by a sextile with Aquarius and Libra connects by a trine. So you are likely to enjoy these eclipses more than those ones that were on Scorpio and Taurus axis, because those ones squared your Aquarius first house cusp, as well as any placements you may have in Aquarius. Here with Libra and Aries, these are different energies, and there could be really more opportunities and growth that comes along. Now with the eclipses on your third and your fourth house, this is about generally you getting yourself out there. Here, Jupiter rules also social media, connections with others, so you are likely to become pretty popular as well. But here you might be learning something or studying or sharing your knowledge here with these eclipses, sharing your knowledge on a global scale, becoming a teacher, sharing your wisdom, sharing your talents with others. This is also related to broadcasting or publishing a book, for example. This could be also prominent, expanding your connections with people on a global scale. Here, any matters related to immigration as well, these will also be highlighted throughout these eclipses. So here, with the South Node eclipse, you have to put more effort into this area of life. So that's foreign travel and generally teaching and learning, higher learning. However, the North Node eclipse, things will be generally achieved easier. So perhaps connections with people from your immediate surroundings, learning, and also your popularity perhaps on social media or among people from your community might also increase. However, here with the South Node in Libra and those new beginnings that will happen in April and then in October here, this could be very much connecting to you, taking either your business, your ideas out into the world, sharing your wisdom and knowledge with others. You might become a life coach, for example, a spiritual coach of some sort as well, or perhaps this could be related to any legal matters that could also come into light, or you becoming a lawyer, for example. So lots of different possibilities. Languages, you might be attracted to languages, new languages, learn a new language or change your life philosophy. Now here we've got Venus moving into Leo. Here it's a very important transit because it will be very long from June the 5th until October the 8th. Venus will station retrograde from July the 22nd until September the 4th. Venus in Leo, this will be really interesting. That's your 7th house. When Venus comes into Leo, this will be very positive for your love life. Venus in the 7th house in Leo wants to have fun and be playful. And there could be some drama, but only when Venus is retrograde. But other than that, here Venus will improve your relationship with your partner, or perhaps may attract a new relationship into your life. It's very possible because it's a very long transit. Generally, you also make a very good impression on others, especially with those with whom you meet on one-to-one basis. Now here, any contracts, any agreements might also be financially beneficial for you if you start a new job during this time, for example, especially since we are going to have these eclipses and the moon rules your 6th house of work and employment. Now, when Venus stations retrograde, this could be related to someone from the past, an ex-partner coming back into your life. This could be related to some well, miscommunication and difficulties with your existing partner. Things that perhaps were overlooked may come back into the surface. So you have to resolve them, because otherwise they might escalate into something more serious. So every retrograde is here for us to focus on something that didn't work out in the past. It's about improving something that comes up instead of initiating something new and generally forgetting about something that needs your attention. This is connected to your love life, to your relationships, but also to any business partnership. So thank you very much, Aquarius. I wish you a happy new year 2023, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope for the year 2023. So here we start the year with Mars still retrograde along with Mercury and Uranus. However, in January, these three planets will station direct. Now, when a planet changes direction from retrograde to a direct motion or vice versa, these are usually important, significant times, at times when things happen. Now, Mars has been retrograde in your fourth house of home, so perhaps things at your home weren't really going the way you have hoped, or perhaps you experienced some delays or miscommunication with family members. So generally from the 12th of January, reaching goals and objectives related to your home will become much easier. And then on the 18th, the planet of communication will also station direct. So here communication, straightforward thinking will no longer be affected. Now, as the planets, these two planets along with Uranus later on as well, station direct, you will see that life will start to move much quicker, and it will be easier to reach your goals and objectives moving forward for a few months at least. Alright, so here we start the year also with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. Jupiter in Aries feels very courageous and adventurous at the same time as well, but Jupiter in Aries wants to take action, wants things to happen. So this is happening in your second house, so growth, financial growth, yes. So this is the 4.5 months influence for you in 2023, and then we will also have the eclipses happening here as well, with the nodes moving into this area of life and the 8th house. So lots of changes here in your money sphere here in 2023 and 2024. So here we've got Jupiter in Aries until May the 16th, and this will help you to grow when it comes to your finances, and generally Jupiter will also trine your 10th house, so your salary may increase, or perhaps you might find a better paid job. So generally it looks like your income might increase, or perhaps you might find a new way to earn more money on the side apart from your regular monthly income. So generally there's this expansion that is about to happen in your money sphere. And Jupiter brings luck and abundance, but at the same time, you might be also making major purchases throughout this time. Here with Jupiter, this is a time here most likely that will definitely be connected to career growth, because Jupiter rules your 10th house in the second. So it looks like the money will come through career development and growth. At the same time with Jupiter, it's important to be realistic and set yourself realistic, achievable goals and aspirations. Because if you overextend yourself, if you are going to be overly optimistic, and if you set yourself unrealistic goals, you might just create disappointment for yourself. So staying grounded and realistic will help you to really make the most of this transit. And then on May the 17th, Jupiter will move into your 3rd house, and this will allow growth and generally new connections, expansion when it comes to connections with your within your immediate environment. But also it looks like you will be traveling quite a lot here with Jupiter in Taurus in the second part of 2023 and also the beginning of 2024. And this could be, well, usually the 3rd house is the house that rules short distance travel, but here Jupiter is the sign that rules foreign places. So perhaps you may find yourself in a foreign place traveling quite a lot to local areas, for example. So let's say here, if you go on holiday somewhere next year, for example, then you will feel like traveling quite a lot within the area, exploring nearby places, because here you really want to get involved in experiences connected to travel that will expand your mind or horizons. It will be adventurous, that may increase your adrenaline, but at the same time will help you to learn something new, because Jupiter is definitely connected to learning as well. All right, so your relationship with siblings may also improve during this time. You might feel like learning something new and improve. You might feel like improving your existing skills or learning new skills alternatively. Now, moving forward, on the 8th of March, Saturn will move into your sign. And this is huge. Saturn stays in a sign roughly 2.5 years. It's moving into your first house. So what does it mean for you? This means that here, this will be about self-improvement, self-discovery, becoming more responsible, having to make some important decisions as well. And these decisions could be related to money, to perhaps investments or some major purchases, or perhaps some career decisions, career-related decisions, because Saturn will square your 10th house. It will square your 4th house as well. So there could be some challenges or some dissatisfaction at home or at work, and this could prompt you to implement some changes moving forward. So Saturn in the first house is about bringing more structure into your personal life. And with Saturn here, you become more mature, more sober, like a more sober thinker. And with Saturn in the first house, you might also lose weight. You might lose weight because of generally either the decrease in your appetite, or generally you might feel like craving different things, or you might not have time for eating like a full meal every single day, and this could result in a weight loss. But it's really essential for you to watch your diet, because with Saturn here, a poor diet can affect your teeth, or your bones might hurt, for example, here. So something definitely to keep an eye on. Now, at the same time with Saturn in your first house, you might be more aware of your age. You might become more self-critical. So you will also have to find ways that will help you to generally feel more energized or alive. And actually, what I can tell you is that with Saturn in the first house, if you feel like you're aging, even though others will see it differently, but you will see every single imperfection in your body, in your face, and you will become perhaps more self-critical. Now, if you feel like you're aging, you feel unhappy with your look, then what I would suggest is to try yoga, face massage, or generally implementing like oils, essential oils into your face routine, something that will make you feel young and your skin look fresh. Because with Saturn, your skin might also become drier. So I don't want to sound too overly negative, but here I went through Saturn transit a few years ago, and I remember seeing my face in a very different light. And then when Saturn left my first house, I became less obsessed with some imperfections, which really bothered me during the transit of Saturn in the first house. So here, if you feel like you're aging, if you feel unhappy with your look, then you can implement some new routine into your life as well. All right, so here we go. Then on the 23rd of March, Pluto will move into your 12th house, into Aquarius, and this will be a very long transit in 2023. You will only get a little taste of it. It will only stay there until June the 11th, and then it will come back into Aquarius more permanently in 2024. It's a 20 years transit. So here during this time, you will be going through an internal transformation, moving away from any deeply rooted feelings, emotions. This could be a time of healing, of a deep therapy, and generally a lot of work from behind the scene. You might develop new hobbies, new interests. You might become interested in music, in singing, in dancing. but you will likely develop a new interest, a new hobby, but this will be likely something related to something creative. The 12th house is a very spiritual house, so here spirituality will also play a very important role in your life, and you will be also ending some chapters. There could be a need for withdrawal every now and then, as with every transit, but the strongest influence will be at the very beginning of this transit and at the very end, before Pluto moves into your first house. If you want to learn more about this transit, I made a separate video about Pluto in Aquarius for each rising sign and the influence that this transit will have over the next 20 years. So I will link it in the description box down below this video. Now moving forward, we've got 4 eclipses next year, 2 eclipses on Scorpio and Taurus axis, and 2 eclipses on a Libra and Aries axis. So these eclipses, well, we are starting a new series of eclipses, and we are ending Taurus and Scorpio eclipses. So there will be 2 lunar eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus. So one in Taurus, one in Scorpio. The Scorpio one will be on May the 5th, and the Taurus one will be on October the 28th. So as we are coming to an end with these eclipses that started at the end of 2021, you will be finalizing some projects, ideas connected to these areas of life. So that's your 3rd house, anything to do with learning, travel, some projects, courses, personal development courses, for example, or perhaps some legal matters, matters concerning immigration or citizenship or higher education. So generally here with these eclipses, you are completing this series of eclipses, and the energies are moving into your financial sphere. So here the nodes will move into Aries and Libra on July the 18th until January the 11th. And here, these eclipses will last until spring 2025. So during this time, you will experience lots of changes in your money sphere. Now here, we've got Aries is Jupiter here in the initial part of 2023. So this could be a really positive and fruitful time for your money sphere. But once the eclipses start, here, generally the eclipses on the 2nd and the 8th house axis, this could be related either to a new job, generally when you will be able to generate a better income, better monthly income, better revenue. This could be related to an additional project, like a side hustle, so to speak, that could also bring more money. And at the same time, this could be related to also making big purchases. Now with the 8th house, perhaps for some Pisces rising, this could be an inheritance or perhaps an investment. You might be investing your money, and in the near future, it doesn't have to happen next year, but here these eclipses will influence your life for 2 years. So this could be related to investments. This could be related also to generally a transformation could occur in your life, because the 6th house is the house of transformation, regeneration. So apart from these financial changes, which could involve a new job, a new career, inheritance, investments, you buying a property, for example. At the same time, this is about a transformation that may occur in your life, major changes, especially since Saturn will be in your 1st house. So it looks like you'll be making some really important decisions next year that will impact the next few years of your life. And these are major decisions that could be about investing your money in some property or a piece of land, or perhaps getting involved in shares. Or this could be about relocating, for example, or starting a new relationship. So generally you are starting a major phase in your life, and then the money area is also undergoing a change here. Okay, so here we go. So these are the eclipses, and now Venus will move into Leo on June the 5th until October the 8th. And with the Venus in Leo, so Leo rules your 6th house of work, employment, everyday routine. Venus will stay here very long because it will station retrograde on July the 22nd until September the 4th. And here with Venus in the 6th house, you will likely crave lots of sugary and sweet things. With Venus in the 6th house, it might be difficult to concentrate on work and the practicalities of everyday life because Venus wants to have fun. Venus wants to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. So you will have to implement an element of creativity, of some fun into your daily life. It could be as simple as having fresh flowers on your desk. And this could also increase your sense of happiness, increase your sense of joy, for example. Now, on a different level here with Venus in the 6th house, so here you will definitely have to put more effort into dealing with work, but overall you will really you will want to enjoy your daily life, and your relationship with coworkers, people at your work may improve. This also this transit could lead to some improved relationship with people at your work, but also you might be involved in some really interesting project. And here, when Venus stations retrograde, this is when things will slow down, when you may experience delays, or perhaps when you may have to generally take a step-by-step approach. You may have to kind of review your work situation, your employment situation, for instance, because here Venus retrograde could bring some dissatisfaction. Now, Venus retrograde is not good for having any major makeovers or for changing your style or your hairstyle, for example, because when Venus stations direct, you may change your minds. You might regret the decisions that you made throughout the retrograde. So generally with the retrogrades, be mindful about implementing major changes, stick to the old, and review, reassess what has to be reassessed. But we will explore these energies further next year, month by month. This is just to give you some heads up. So thank you very much, and Happy New Year 2023. Alright, so we reached the final sign for this forecast. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a Happy New Year 2023. Thank you so much for all your support in helping me to grow this channel. It's still my passion. I still love making these videos. And all the best. Thank you.